What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me, but I just got home off of an early morning flight, right? First thing through the door, I want to see my family. I love my family. You know, I'm a family man. I'm an advocate for families, right? Second thing, I got to get that hot shower because I got to throw the threads on. The threads make me feel like $1,000,000, but the third thing through my mind and all throughout the trip is that I gotta have that TIEGE pack. TIEGE makes my life uncomplicated. It's uncomplicated skincare for men. The first way that I started specifically was their level 1 system. It's a daily face wash to get rid of the dirt and grime on your skin. 2 times per week exfoliating scrub to get rid of the dead skin cells. An AM moisturizer with SPF 20 because you should always be protecting your skin from the sun, and a PM moisturizer to help your skin stay hydrated and healthy throughout the night. Here's the thing. My favorite part about TIEGE Hanley is that every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. They really making the process of achieving and maintaining amazing skin for men uncomplicated. In addition to amazing skin, members of TIEGE Hanley get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off the retail price, the ability to customize your box, exclusive monthly deals, you can pause and cancel at any time, and you get free shipping. And because TIEGE Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers an amazing deal, right? Just click the first link in the description and you get 30% off your first box, plus a free gift. It's an amazing deal. You got to get started today. You're not out here trying to look like a dusty. And if you travel as much as I do, which I'm sure most people don't, but you know me, I'm pushing my bag chasers in order to be in the top 5%, top 10%, top 1%. We got to make our lives uncomplicated, and TIEGE Hanley is no better product. You got to look good. You got to smell good. And you can't be looking like a dusty. Make sure you get started today. Click the link in the description. Get that TIEGE pack. Feel the TIEGE, my friends. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. It's been a long week, hasn't it? It's been a long week. Nah, you ain't late today, Messi. I had some corporate things that I had to solve for to make sure that everything was taken care of on that front. What's going on? It is a no fumble on a Friday. No fumble on a Friday, and you know, by any means necessary, one thing is for certain and two things is for sure, that you can depend on Anton from AntonDaniels.com to show up on a live stream and to make sure that we add value into you every single weekday. Do you know, I would have you to believe, despite the fact that daddy gotta have a life too, that I have not missed one single show this year. And then even last year, the only 2 shows that I missed was one where I think I was flying back and then I had to go into the hospital for a minute. And then I had like an emergency situation, but I have not missed one single show, and we are on the 1st of December. So we done went 11 months throughout the entire year, and we have not missed one single show. That means that it is not one excuse. There isn't one excuse for you to actually endure long enough to get to the results, but I'm going to get there. Make sure you tap into the Patreon. What is the best day? The best day of the month to first get into the Patreon. What's the best day? What's the best day? The best day to join the Patreon is the first day of the month. The reason why I told you guys don't join yesterday, but join today, because this afternoon I am dropping a fire video that everybody, I am requiring you. I am not asking you. I am not petitioning you. I am asking you and requiring of you. You know how your parents used to ask you, but they're not really asking you. They just being nice. I'm not asking you. I'm telling you that you have to watch this video that I dropped this afternoon on the Patreon because this is going to set the tone for what it is that we're going to be moving like going into 2024. So I'm very excited to be doing so. Got some interviews that I got to do this weekend. Got to take care of some business. But let me get a mental health check inside of the chat. Everybody in the chat, let me know what's going on. How you feeling out here in these streets? One word mental health check inside of the chat. I'm going to read a couple of super chats, and then I'm going to go ahead and get started with the show. Shout out to my dog. Mike that dude. In the building. Shout out to Mike that dude. True to myself said he feeling worthy. Exhausted, Bowler? Oh, yeah, it is the end of the week. It's been a lot. Hopefully we have a good weekend, right? Just moved in, focused, accomplished, juicing. I like that. Committed, stoked, happy, great, accomplished, determined, money, blessed, awesome, groovy, thankful, tired, marvelous. Shout out to Messi. Excited, incredible, motivated, productive, great, thankful, blessed, mad, grantastic. Don't be mad. Grateful, impactful, rich. I like that. Blessed. Absolutely. Says Kojak. Accomplished, motivated, cooling. Great. Shout out to Sway Taylors. I'm going to be reading that super chat shortly. Hulk. Grinding Friday. Gratitude. Ready. Struggling. Spaces. Get Spaces. You don't answer no more until we get you right. Panic mode. Tired at the gym. At least you at the gym now. Spaces be trying to bring the mood down, don't he? Bullish, resilient, awesome, patient, blessed, and thankful. Content, fantastic, and egregious. Fantastically well. Hustle mania. Finessing. Don't be finessing out here. Don't finesse out here. Grateful to be alive another day. Positive. Y'all a little slow today. Y'all a little sluggish. Just a little sluggish. Grounded. What's going on? I know it's raining out here in Metro Detroit. I drove by the protesters that were not protesters, but UAW members that were striking from the casino. It was cold. It was raining. They got their rain suits on. I seen one guy huddled up by the fire doing like this. I felt so sorry for that man. I felt so sorry for that old white man that was sitting out there on that picket line while your UAW leaders got these people from the casino workers. You know, Motor City, we got three casinos inside of Detroit, downtown Detroit. 2 of them already voted to go back to work. They said, we're not about to be dealing with this wintertime. So Hollywood Casino, which used to be Greektown Casino, and Motor City Casino, which is the same owners of the Red Wings, the Detroit Red Wings, and the Detroit Tigers. They already done been back to work. MGM workers, they said, we gonna strike. But I heard from an inside source that they probably gonna get back to work within a week because they tired, boss. He's tired, boss. So let me go ahead and read a couple more super chats, and then we're gonna go ahead and get started with the show. Mrs. Crow T. Shetty said, I got you, Time Dog. Here's $4 for a coffee. Thank you. I appreciate you, Miss Crow T. Shetty. Anybody that contributes to the platform, I absolutely appreciate you. Also, Bitcoin Brown is in the building. Bitcoin Brown is trying to take my money, y'all. He said, Bag Chasers is up. What's up on the chef's menu today to cook? It's going to be some great things out here in the building. Promise you it's going to be a great show. And I might even open up the lines for y'all to call in and give me y'all thoughts quickly. I don't want y'all thinking that y'all gonna monopolize my time today because it's Friday, and I was tired, boss. Shout out to Brick Karen Brown. Hold on, let me give a run. Sway Taylor says to make up for that mishap yesterday. Shout out to Sway Taylors for the 100 ball early in the morning, and we ain't even really got started with the show. My people love us over here. The Chasers love us over here. Shout out to Sway Taylors. I appreciate you, family. You are everybody that give $1 up to whatever it is that you give. If everybody only gave $2, I'd be cool with that. Because again, I don't ask for it, but I'm always going to appreciate and acknowledge the people that hold me down. Thank you, Sway Taylor. Also, Queen V is in the building, says just dropping some coins because I got paid today. I got paid today. Shout out to Queen V, says she got her bag today, 90% disabled vet and agency registered nurse. Hey, y'all, happy Friday. Thank you, AD, for pouring into us. I'm going to get into that. I'm going to get into the real, I really want to deep dive. The majority of this show is going to be money talk. I'm just going to tell y'all right away. The majority of this show today on a Friday is going to be money talk because it's a no fumble on a Friday. Thank you, Queen V, for holding me down. Let me go ahead and get into the show again. The best day to join the Patreon, I am dropping a video today, is the beginning of the month. It is the final month of the year, and I want y'all to go into the new year. 2024 is almost here, y'all. Are y'all not excited? 2024, yo, we made it another year. It has been so many milestones that have happened this year. It is the first of the month. I am excited. I am ecstatic. And I'm looking forward to the smoke that is going to come in 2024. Yeah, we're going to get there. Messy mathematician. Don't worry about it after this weekend. The gray is going to be gone. I'm going to put some gravy gone in my beard this weekend. Messy mathematician says, good morning, Anton. I see that gray coming in. Keep up the good work. I still put my TIEGE Hanley on, though. So make sure y'all get that TIEGE Hanley 30% off your first order plus a free gift. Messy trying to get me to grow this gray out. I'm not ready for the silver fox yet. All right, let's get into it. Yo, before we really deep dive into the show, again, make sure you get your TIEGE Hanley 30% off your first order plus a free gift. We're going to go ahead and get into that quick hits. Quick Hits is a segment of the show where we are not going to allocate an entire segment to it, but we're going to divide it up just to keep you guys informed from a financial perspective, from a cultural perspective, everything that went on in this year. We are going to bring you up to speed on a daily basis, Monday through Friday. So the first thing in Quick Hits, ladies and gentlemen, was the Tesla Cybertruck event was released over the past day. Elon Musk did a Tesla Cybertruck event. Let me bring y'all up to speed on what's happening with the Cybertruck, y'all.
Cybertruck, Phil. We are, Scott, and we don't know which models were delivered. My guess is these were the highest of the high-end models, the Cyber Beast, which starts at $96,390. Now, we don't know if those are the ones that were delivered today, but that would be my guess that those are the models that were there. And then you've got next up in the mid-level, you've got all-wheel drive those deliveries start next year at $68,890. And then finally, starting in 2025, the base model, and this is the pricing now. Let's see if this is still the pricing in 2025 at $49,890. This is probably in line with what most people were expecting. And again, Scott, nobody ever thought that we would see the Cybertruck start at $39,000, which is way back in the day what Elon Musk said, hey, the single motor will be $39,000. And again, this is before the $7,500 federal tax credit. So you'll be able to take that off with these vehicles. But there you go. There's the pricing, anywhere between $49,900 and $96,300.
So, essentially, he had a release event where the first customers took delivery of their Cybertrucks. It said after 4 years of delays and missteps, the Cybertruck has finally arrived. Tesla CEO Elon Musk hosted a delivery event at the company's Austin, Texas, touting its towing abilities, bulletproof doors, straight line speed. Several customers took delivery of their Cybertrucks at the event. Opening the door proved to be a little bit tricky. The company released the updated details about the vehicle specs, price, and more on its website. Let me just keep y'all in the loop a little bit, right? The cheapest rear drive model. Now, I don't know why anybody would get a Cybertruck and only get the rear drive model, but so on and so forth, will not be available until 2025 with a price starting at around $59,000 before applying discounts. So, you get the federal tax credit. Usually that's about $7,500 in tax credits or money off. So a lot of times that's built straight into the vehicle. While on top of the line, Cyber Beast will probably run you over $90,000 with 320 miles of range. Production was originally slated for 2021, but was delayed. Obviously, you know, we had the pandemic and all of that stuff. And it very much looks just like the prototype version. So my personal opinion on it is that it's polarizing. It's polarizing. And Messi, for example, the woman said that it's ugly. I see people that say it's beautiful. I've watched several different reviews of it, including Marquise Brownlee and several other car channels because I'm really into cars like that. I think that it is gorgeous. Gorgeous. I think that we need more polarizing, different, futuristic, nostalgic, different types of vehicles. I don't want every car to look the same. I hate this whole Me Too movement with the cars. I remember they came out with the Bangle Butt. Y'all know what the Bangle Butt was? The Bangle Butt was a BMW, a 7 Series BMW that was, I believe his name was Chris Bangle. That was his name. I don't know if that was the right first name, but it was called the Bangle Butt, and it was a slope that went up on the BMW 7 Series when they first came out, and then it influenced every other car that came after it, right? And so I've had my order in or my deposit in for well over 5 years now. And so I'm looking forward to it. I'm really, really looking, or I'm sorry, 4 years. I'm looking forward to it. Yep. And I can't wait. I cannot wait. No, it's not over 400,000. Elon Musk announced yesterday that there's over 1 million pre-orders. It is a gorgeous vehicle. I cannot wait to add it into the fleet over the next year, hopefully. Again, I am okay with polarizing. I like the Prius on that side. I like the Cybertruck on this side. I like the new Cadillac Escalade, even though it started at like 130,000. I like the VW bus, the electric bus. I plan on getting me a bus coming out. So I am always enthusiastic about difference because we have 1,000 different automakers and 1,000 more cars. So having that identity to be able to select something over here and select something over there, because we got so many different cars that, you know, everybody should be able to find something that fits their personality. But when everything looks cookie cutter, I don't like that. I don't like the cookie cutter stuff. So I like the fact that you have to choose whether you love it or you hate it. And you got to pick a side when you're going to rock with it. But one thing is for sure, that when you pull up in it, it's going to stop everybody. Whether you love it or you hate it, it polarizes people. And that's the thing that I like. I like the attention and the conversations that's generated as a result of it. So the Cybertruck was released and they released the pricing. So I think that it is going to destroy everything. And I think that Tesla's doing a phenomenal job in marketing themselves. All right. So in addition to the Cybertruck, Elon Musk, they asked his opinion with regard to unions. Because you know that Sean Fain and the UAW's whole agenda was to create more visibility and to advertise what it is that they did against Ford, Chrysler, and Stellantis and GM. And then they're leveraging that in order to try to advertise to unionize at other shops. And they asked Tesla's CEO, Elon Musk, what he thought about unions. And I'm going to fast forward to the point where he started kind of talking about it. Let me see.
A couple more questions for you.
We do very well in China because our trend.
How worried are you that the unionization effort that just took place I shouldn't say effort, but the new wages and the like at GM and Ford, that they're coming for you? And they are coming for you. What is that going to mean to you and your business?
Well, I think it's generally not good to have an adversarial relationship between people on the line, you know, one group at the company and another group. In fact, I disagree with the idea of unions, but perhaps for a reason that is different than people may expect, which is I just don't like anything which creates kind of a lords and peasants sort of thing. And I think the unions naturally try to create negativity in a company and create a sort of lords and peasants situation. There are many people at Tesla who have gone from working on the line to being in senior management. There is no lords and peasants. Everyone eats at the same table. Everyone parks in the same parking lot. You know, at GM, there's a special elevator only for senior executives. We have no such thing at Tesla. You know, and the thing is that I actually know the people on the line. because I worked on the line, and I walked the line, and I slept in the factory, and I worked beside them. So I'm no stranger to them. And there are actually many times where I've said, well, can't we just hold a union vote? But apparently a company is not allowed to hold a union vote. So it has to be somehow called for, but the unions can't do it. So I said, well, let's just hold a vote and see what happens. The actual problem is the opposite. It's not that people are trapped at Tesla building cars. The challenge is how do we retain great people to do the hard work of building cars when they have like 6 other opportunities that they can do that are easier. That's the actual difficulty, is that building cars is hard work, and there are much easier jobs. And I just want to say that I'm incredibly appreciative of those who build cars, and they know it. So there's I don't know, maybe there will be unionized. If I say, like, if Tesla gets unionized, it will be because we deserve it and we failed in some way. But we certainly try hard to, ensure the prosperity of everyone. We give everyone stock options. We've made many people who are just working the line, who didn't even know what stocks were, we've made them millionaires.
You hear that? Hold on, let me back that up for a second. Elon Musk says, we don't separate ourselves from the people that's on the line. I've slept on the line. I've worked right beside them. They know my name. I walk the line. I work on it. He said, we don't have a separate elevator. We all come in. We all park in the same parking lot. Ain't no special parking spaces. He said, listen, people that's on the line at my company didn't even know what stock was, and we already made a lot of them millionaires by giving them options in the company for them to be able to exercise right alongside all of the tech workers and right alongside everybody else. He said, I done made more millionaires just like Jay-Z out here in these streets. He said, I made these dudes millionaires. He said, I made my people millionaires. He said, part of their compensation package is equity and stock in the company. And he said, this dude want to come over here, Sean Fain and the UAW want to come over here and create dissension within our company. Our people got the option to be able to go and work somewhere else if they want to. Our biggest problem is that we trying to retain people. And so we give them stock options and we give them the availability to be able to do what they want to do when they want to do it. He said, I'm not a fan of unions because they basically create a hierarchy and they try to pit each other against each other, not knowing that we all on the same team and the health of the company for you is the health of the company and me. And so I have a vested interest in seeing you successful. And so you can get equity in the company in the same way that we get equity in the company. I love it. I love it. And I think that that's the perfect answer to it. And I think it would be a grave mistake to turn a new American company into a unionized shop that then does not allow for them to be able to compete on a global scale, and to see them go down the drain similar to all of our other automakers think about it. We really only got 3 automakers now. This is just my personal opinion. We only got 3 American automakers, and Chrysler ain't one of them. Chrysler is really Stellantis, which was purchased first by Mercedes, and then Mercedes kicked them to the curb after they took all of the resources, and they saddled them with debt, and then Stellantis came, and Chrysler got bought out again, and Chrysler is not even really inherently American. We don't even call them Chrysler anymore. The Chrysler name only applies to the minivan and the 300, which is going away. And so we finally have some innovation based off of Elon Musk creating an entirely new company, which made it a 3rd American automaker again. And GM is getting their heads bashed in. Ford is getting their butts kicked in. Chinese automakers is coming. Korea's is kicking butt, and they selling cars over there with Amazon. Japanese automakers has always been doing their thing. The Germans, everybody want a foreign. Italian car makers are still getting to the bag. VW bought a bunch of automakers in order to make sure that they're solvent. Porsche might spin off in order to continue to raise up more valuation for their company. And so then we have the union over here upending everything that we have going on within the United States of America and messing up a traditional automaker as though you don't have options to go and work wherever it is that you want to work. And I think that it is a mistake. I hate it. It disgusts me. I know that people think that it makes sense, but I do not. I don't like it. And I think that if you want another opportunity, then you need to invest in yourself. So that's just my opinion personally. But then last but not least, McDonald's is coming out with a new concept restaurant separately from the McDonald's brand, and it is largely inspired by Grimace.
This is pretty cool, Natalie. A new McDonald's restaurant is coming to Bolingbrook. This is not your typical Golden Arches. Sky Fox over the concept. It's called CosMc. The CEO says it's got the DNA of a McDonald's, but its own unique personality. The new locale is being built near the intersection of Boughton and Weber Roads. Peeks at the menu that were posted online show specialty items including a pear slushie, a spicy queso sandwich, and more.
So McDonald's is coming up with a new spinoff restaurant concept called CosMc or CosMc. It's called CosMc, and it basically came after the viral success or perhaps terror of the humorous videos posted online of Grimace's birthday shake. So McDonald's is continuing to stoke the nostalgic fire. The fast food chain is reportedly launching a new restaurant chain based off another favorite mascot of the yesteryear. The new spinoff concept is called CosMc and is based on a former mascot of the same name. CosMc is an orange alien with a spacesuit, which seemingly also functions as a spaceship that appeared in McDonald's ads in 1986 through 1992. In the earnings report with investors, McDonald's Corporation CEO Chris spoke to the brand's marketing prowess and courtesy Grimace and its solid, consistent earnings while keeping an eye on the future. Speaking to that future, he said that the brand is developing CosMc's restaurant concept. It is a small format concept with all the DNA of McDonald's, but its own unique personality. He also noted that the concept will start being tested in limited geographic sites in early 2024. All right, so McDonald's is coming out with a new CosMc restaurant. Elon Musk is not a fan of unions, and the Tesla Cybertruck is now officially launched out to the general public. We'll be scaling up throughout 2024 and 2025. All right, so that is your quick hits, ladies and gentlemen. Again, where we give you all of the insight and information, hopefully in a short form format that allows for you to continue to stay up to date of what's going on in these streets. All right, let me read some of the super chats, and then we're going to go ahead and get it popping with the show. Looks like Love Wins 3022 says, Anton, my brother, you better grow that gray out and show these young and old Thundercats you still got it. Nah. Let me tell you one thing about me. I am at the space in my life where I feel comfortable not having to prove anything to anybody. You're not going to see me out here trying to compete with these Thundercats. Listen, they all running around with all this vigor and energy. I'm trying to make sure that I live long enough to be able to spend the money that I've been able to accumulate out here in these streets. You know what I'm saying? I got to make sure that I'm in good health, that I'm in a good space. I am mentally in a great environment. And I just want to compete when it comes to content creation. Ain't nobody trying to be out here competing with these young Thundercats. I'm going to stay as young as I can stay, as long as I can stay it. And then I'm going to continue to add value into y'all life. Y'all can have that competition with the young Thundercats. They got too much vigor and not enough money. And when you see a dude that got a lot of vigor and not enough money, he's dangerous. David Williams says, you said you went broke in 2008. I went broke before 2008. 2008 just so happened to be a recession. What's broke to you? Currently, I make $28 an hour, which is definitely broke to you. It's not. What were you making in 2008? A goose egg. That's what I was making in 2008. To answer your question, thank you for the super chat, David Williams. To answer your question, when I was 18, 19 years old, I had basically graduated from high school, and then I went to college for a semester. And I went to a private college, and then I decided to go ahead and get a job at the steel mill. My brother got me in Rouge Steel, which was formerly Ford Steel, which wound up turning into Severstal, and I think somebody else bought it now or something like that. But I was local 600 over in Dearborn, and at that time, I was working overtime, a lot of it, and for the majority of the time that I was there, I was making somewhere between $100,000 and $120,000 a year. Now, I was young, whippersnapper, having a good time, no kid. My kid wasn't born until 2006. I graduated from high school in the year 2000. And I wound up losing my job. The one benefit to that was I wound up saving 25% of everything that I had made, and I was still a serial entrepreneur, so I was working on different businesses. But when the recession hit in 2007, 2008, the recession for me hit before then. I did not tap into the money that I had put up and invested. That's the one caveat. The one thing that I did right, I spent money fast. I got a lot of cars. I had bought a Bentley. I actually had bought a Bentley. It's pictures. I'll show y'all the pictures again. Some of y'all done seen the pictures. I done shown it a bunch of different times. I was driving a Bentley before your favorite rapper had a Bentley. But 2008, my daughter was, this is the funniest part. So I went broke before that, but my wife was pregnant before I actually had lost my job, and we didn't even really know that she was pregnant. So my daughter wound up being born in February 2008. I was jobless. I did not want to tap into the monies that I had put up and all of that stuff in order to continue to maintain my lifestyle. So I got my cars repossessed. I moved back into my mother's basement, my parents' basement. And then we got back on the grind. I went back to school, and I was going to school full time, and I went to community college. And I wound up getting 2 full-time jobs. I got 1 full-time sales job, and then I had got another job, and then I wound up getting another job, and then I let go of that job in order to continue to go into what I was doing. And then about that time, I was graduating from community college, and then I was starting a business. But then my business had started to take off based off of the insight that I gained from being a software engineer. And I wound up selling one business, and I started another business, and the other business was largely based off of what it was that I had sold before. And so I was living off the money that I was making from my business, and then I didn't have to depend on the money that I got from my software engineering job, which my first software engineering job, corporate-wise, was University of Michigan, right? And so I didn't have to depend on that money, and I had already lowered my lifestyle. And I was just grinding, man, and everything that I got a double match, had my 403B at the University of Michigan. And then Michigan also was paying for me to transfer over from community college over into a major university, so they was continuing to pay for my education, right? So, it was a grind. Like, ever since the beginning of my life, it's just been a grind. It's been a hustle all the way up until being 41 years old. It was a grind. It was absolutely a grind. And then I started documenting the process after that. And, you just went from there. So I was broke. When I was broke, Listen, you say you broke and you making 24. You don't know what broke means when you making $28 an hour. I'm going to get into that in a minute. Phenomenal question, David. I'll get into that in a minute. Also, Martin Meck is in the building. Martin Meck says Elon for African American of the Year after the Demon Slayer himself. Shout out to you. Elon Musk was born in South Africa. He is a real African. A real African. All right. Shout out to you. Jari Barber says, stomach finna sound like Tim's in the dryer. Yeah. Mr. Lott is in the building. Shout out to Mr. Lott. Says, speaking of McDonald's, I still get a kick out of you saying, praise dancers dressed like the Hamburglar. You remember that live stream? All right, let's get into the show, y'all. Let's deep dive into the show. So that was really a good question, and it probably leads me into the first thing that I wanted to have a conversation with you guys about today. Make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Best day to join the Patreon is the first of the month. If you're one of the people that got one of the $24,000 that I had allocated for y'all over the last Sunday, make sure you send the information in your email, and on Monday or Tuesday, we'll be sending out checks, all right? We'll be sending out checks. It's a great time to be alive. But even now, every month, my goal is to go broke. Every month, my goal is to go broke. And the best thing that could have ever happened to me in my life is to go broke early in my life. 26 years old, daughter born in 2008, February 2008. And it was a rough time. It was a very, very, very rough time in my life because it's nothing like getting it and losing it. I'm telling you, it's nothing like getting a whole bunch of money and then losing it. It is a humbling. And when I say humbling experience. To be making over $100,000 a year as a young guy in his early 20s, married, and then you finally get your chick pregnant and you are very intentional, and then you fumble the bag and then you go broke because you didn't anticipate the economy crashing at the time that it crashed. And then you got to be so humble to where you give. I had a Trailblazer SS, the black truck, the dope one. I had a Trailblazer SS. I think I had a Pontiac Grand Prix. I had a bunch of cars, all American. I was an American guy, all American, repossessed, for real. And so when you talk about broken and you got a newborn baby in your hands, and then you also got a wife that basically you forced to continue to quit her job. I forced her to quit her job because the agreement that we had with each other was that once my daughter was born, until she was old enough to go to school full time, that she was going to be a full-time mother. So I had to sell that dream. I knew I had the work ethic to go along with it, but I had to sell that dream because she had to really, really believe in the man that presented her the work ethic and the mindset and everything that I had told her. See, it's easy for a woman to hold you down when you already got it. It's easy for a woman to hold you down when you get it. Now, one of the benefits that came along with having a wife that I had selected was that I had known her since high school. Not had been with her, wasn't in a relationship with her, but I had known her since high school. And so, the ride was fun and it was having a good time. But then when you go broke, hey, somebody get rid of Edna Lofton. We don't do any old clothes. Cotton stocking, head wrapping, hood rats named Edna. Any chick named Edna was born before 1964. That's a fact, though. Any chick named Edna was born before 1964. Y'all get Edna on up out of here. They had to subscribe in order to say that, and we never going to even know what their comment was in the first place because it's going to disappear forever. Shout out to Edna. Tell Mabel I said, what up, though? Tell Mabel I said, hey, I'm pretty sure you're going to be in the nursing home soon because your kids don't love you, but we're going to continue with the show. But one of the benefits of going broke early was that it humbled me. And in that humility, it taught me a lesson that I am going to convey over to you guys today. Y'all a mess. Y'all a mess. That I am going to convey over to you guys today. See, the difference is that, and what Edna doesn't understand is that I talk based off of my own life experiences, not based off of YouTube talking points or what somebody else you read out of a book or some kind of thing that you can't even implement in your own life, and then you trying to give somebody else an advice. That's not what my story is. My story is a real life story. And so yes, Mr. Lott, shout out to Dolores, Mabel, Ethel, and Edna. Shout out to her. And so my story is a real one that you can then lean into in order to learn from your own life experiences. But what it taught me was that you can stay down for an extended period of time in order to be able to get to the bag. Because once I got to the bag and once I technically had got back on my feet, I didn't feel the need to spend money. I just wanted to continue to invest and stack. That's my goal. Invest, stack, put it back into the businesses, put it back into the resources, continue to, pour more money into your brokerage account, into the investments that then manifested itself. You pull that out, you put it into real estate. You make sure that you got your real estate in a trust, right? And then I learned and I continue to live. And I took all of the principles of having that first student work study job inside of the library, and all of those books that I was reading. Now I had the ability to be able to implement it as long as I made sure that my lifestyle didn't go back to the thing that I had fell off from the first time, right? And so here's the thing. This is the reason why it's important to go broke every single month, right? Meaning that you don't need cash. All you need to be is liquid. And the cash is the very thing that keep you guys handcuffed and going broke, because money in cash does not allow for you to continue to leverage it in order to make more money. As a matter of fact, it loses its value based off of inflation, meaning that the value of money continues to go down. And the more that you have just sitting there, the broker you then become, because the value of a dollar is not the same as it was in yesteryear. Think about it. The price of a movie ticket is much different in 1990 than it is in 2023. The value of a dollar continues to go down every single year. And so my goal is to basically go broke. Now, going broke is a mindset, not a mindset based off of duress, but a mindset based off of projecting what it is that I want long term. All of the things that I work towards is all in a 10-year view. It's not a 3-year view. It's not a 5-year view. It's a 10-year view. And the reason that is because I'm working towards, and it does not mean that you can't have fun. It doesn't mean that you can't be great. It doesn't. Listen, what we found when I went broke was that the things that was more meaningful was the time that you were spending doing the things that cost nothing. We started figuring out how to have picnics. We would drive around and go into different neighborhoods and look at all of the big houses and dream about where it was that we was going to be 10 years from now after we had stayed down for an extended period of time. We started spending more time with family, and I spent more time in the basement grinding and hustling and going to get it. You start playing games. You start figuring out that board games is actually fun. We played a lot of Monopoly, Connect 4, right? Start doing the exercise and the running together. Somehow you start losing a lot of weight when you ain't got no money all of a sudden. It doesn't mean that you can't have fun, but it means that you need to spend more time going broke. Going broke means that you need to live off the minimum that you can live off of, while also deploying the majority of your resources, especially early in your journey, into the things that ultimately is going to pay off long term. There is no shortcut for success. There is no course that you can buy. There is no finesse that you can make. Everybody, yes, there are new nuances to it. If you want to be able to build a successful business, you got to either be able to provide a service that people value, or you got to sell a product that solves a problem that ultimately can make you rich. But also building a business is making sure that you leverage the tax code in order to not pay more in taxes than you need to. Also, you need to go in and educate yourself. The biggest investment that you can make is into yourself. That way you get a bigger shovel. When I tell you to go to school, minimize the amount that you pay in student loans, maybe go into community college, and then transfer over into a major university and then go into a STEM field, or a field that actually will pay off long term instead of something that's just based off of your purpose. My purpose is to get rich. I'm not defined by the position that I make. And most people never get money, or they never become incredibly successful, or have that nest egg long term, or have resources or assets that then continue to take care of you for the rest of your life, because they don't have the endurance. See, getting money is easy. Getting to the bag is easy. Getting rich is easy. Having the endurance to do so is the hard part. A lot of y'all know how to get to a bag. Most people that make 6 figures is living paycheck to paycheck. Meaning that a lot of y'all out here are getting that money, but you don't know how to leverage it properly, or you don't have the discipline to stick with it long enough to actually let it pay off for you. So you invest in a stock, and that stock don't necessarily do anything for the first year, and then all of a sudden you want to start day trading because you got to speed up the process, or I feel like I'm so behind. I don't know how many people that I've coached or I've talked to on the phone that every last one of them, whether they was 18 or 54, said that they felt like they were behind. If you stick with it for the next 5 to 10 years and it goes by like this, it's not about being rich, kinder. It's about being comfortable. And I'm telling you that most people are going to work until they die, and you cannot be. I'm not okay with you saying that you okay with that. I'm not okay with you saying that you're not okay with that. I'm not asking you, kinder, to work 70 hours. I advocate for my guys to put in them 10 to 12-hour days at least, because I don't believe in just putting in 40 hours and just being comfortable. But I'm not okay with the majority of people having less than $50,000 inside of their retirement account when they decide that they don't want to work anymore. And they 69 and a half, they 59 and a half, they 55-year-old, and they tired, boss. And in order for them to continue to live their life, they got to depend on the federal government in order to survive. I don't want that for you. Listen, you ain't got to be rich. And I'm absolutely in favor of you getting rich because I know that the majority of the world can't be rich. But as of this live stream right now, there's over 1,700 people in this live stream. And you know what they're going to tell me? You know what they're going to say? Well, Anton, everybody can't be a millionaire. What if I told you, statistically speaking, that every single day there's over 1,700 new millionaires inside of the United States of America? I'm not advocating for everybody, but if I can advocate for the more than 1,700 people that's in this live stream, considering that every single day more than 1,700 people become millionaires, why can't I try to encourage you to do so? And why can't I then give you the sauce, the game, the insight, the understanding, and then the wherewithal and the mindset to then continue to plow into doing what it is that I'm advocating for you to do? Why not you? Why do it got to, if somebody else can do it, that was always my mindset. If he can do it, I know that I can do it. And I'm not, again, if that's the life that you want to live, but I don't want you sitting here talking about I'm broke at 70 when you could have made different decisions, because it's not that most people don't make enough money to do so. It's two things. A, they're not disciplined enough in order to make sure that they minimize the amount of money that they spend in order to keep up with the Jones and their lifestyle. And then B, they don't have the endurance to last long enough to actually get to the millionaire status. And everybody want a shortcut. And everybody want to get there fast. That's how you had a lot of people taking out PPP loans. That's how, listen, most business owners have failed businesses in some capacity or another. It's not that they were smarter than everybody else. It was that they continued to work, and even when they failed forward, and they took the learned lessons and they applied it to the next business. It's an endurance race. Even the scriptures itself says it's not given to the swift, it's given to he who endureth to the end. The race isn't given to the swift, it's given to he who endureth to the end. So whatever it is that your business idea is, I had a bunch of people pitching me their businesses last Sunday. The main thing that I wanted to say to them wasn't whether or not I thought that their business was a good idea or not, because very rarely did I turn down anybody. I took pitches for over 6 hours, and then I gave out over $21,000 in order to make sure that you got your business started, meaning that I wanted you to vet out the idea to determine whether or not it makes sense. If you're trying to get into the restaurant business, well, the $2,000 that I gave you is not going to be enough for you to be able to get started. It's not going to be enough for you to actually open up the restaurant. But what it will do is it'll allow for you to do a pop-up shop, and it'll ease the burden, and it'll give you some continued encouragement to not only take my $2,000, but take your $2,000 and invest in yourself. So then you can get your friends and family. You can develop your concept. You can continue to put out your dinners. You can do a pop-up shop, and then you can hopefully rent it out for the day from a restaurant that a restaurant owner may not even necessarily be running on that day. They may not be running on a Saturday. They may not be running on a Sunday. They may be closed on a Monday. You can use their kitchen, or you can leverage somebody's kitchen in order to do a quick pop-up shop that will allow for you to vet out whether or not this is the thing that you want to do. It's to help you vet out the business idea and get it started. I didn't tell you you was going to be able to open the entire business for $2,000 that I'm giving you, but I'm telling you that I believe in you, and I'm trying to give you the encouragement to go forth and be fruitful, multiply, learn the life lessons, and then one day maybe you'll become incredibly successful, and then you'll be able to pay it forward and give more good information and more good insight out to people based off of your own life experiences. I'm doing this because I believe in you, but in order to do so, you got to change the way that you think. You don't have to be anybody's punching bag. You don't have to be just regular if you don't want to. If you do, then it's because you chose to, and your actions is going to be reflections of how it is that you see things. That's why it says faith without works is dead, because you can say you believe in anything, but until you actually put the effort forth, how do we know that you even really believe? How do we know that you even really believe? Listen, they keep telling you to just have faith. Hold on, have the faith of a mustard seed. But they didn't add in the rest of the context of the word. The word says faith without works is dead. It doesn't even get off the ground. Dead as a doorknob. It doesn't mean anything. I know a lot of faith leaders that died broke. As a matter of fact, I get faith leaders all the time sending me an email saying, Anton, I believed all this time and God didn't deliver me. It doesn't matter the business. The first thing that you have to do is change your mindset. Second thing that you have to do is make sure that you make up in your mind that it's going to be a long-term journey, not a short-term cycle. Third thing that you have to do is you have to lower your lifestyle. Fourth thing that you have to do is stop caring about what everybody else think about you, because they're going to laugh at you. And they're going to say, why you ain't coming out here with us? And why you ain't taking this trip? And why you ain't getting that on Klarna and Afterpay? And why you ain't financing? And yes, it's okay. Credit is good. And you can use the gamification in order to buy things that you don't need to impress people you don't care about. And when you get that raise and you finally get above 6 figures, you're going to be tempted to go and get that BMW. But let me tell you something. I lived for free until 2017. I lived for free and I was thriving, driving, and getting a huge bag. And until my father passed away as the maintenance man for the facility of the place that I wound up staying at 2 doors down from him and my mother in order to make sure that she was taken care of, I was not in any way, shape, form interested in spending no money on a house that my daughter was comfortable being in and she didn't know no better anyway. It's an endurance race. It's not about what people think about you. I am the one that's going to jump out there. And when you see me and you see these videos drop on my channels every single day on the other channel, and you see me out in these streets, it's people that walk past me. They be looking at me like, oh, he's so weird for recording out here. Man, I don't care nothing about what these people think. I am cooking. I be talking loud. I be unruly. I be getting my thoughts out, and it be a fire video. And when I drop it, the people in the comments be like, yeah, I resonate with that. I'm not doing it for them that's walking down the street looking at me getting the money. You think I'm self-conscious? I see people in my comments all the time. They say, I don't know how Anton is able to walk down the street and not care about what people think. And I don't care about what people think about me. I care about the results. I don't see them. They're props in my videos. I am focused on one thing and one thing only. I'm focused on being successful. I don't care who, what, when, where, why, and how is standing in my way. I don't care who's watching me. I don't care who's embarrassed. I don't care who feels some type of way. I don't care if you think that I should be driving something different. I'm going to stay in my lane until I'm ready to really bust out. But when I'm ready to break out, I'm going to break out. I'm the main person that get on a train or get on a bus. Right here, right outside my office. It's a bus stop and a train station right outside of my office. I don't feel like driving. I'm not driving downtown in order to go and find some more parking and pay some additional monies for that. I'm not doing that. I jump on the train, I get on my phone, and while everybody else be cussing each other out and cussing and being unruly and rapping their lyrics and stuff, I'm going to get on my vlog and vlog. But I'm the weird one because I'm the only person that's creating content that's valuable that I can then drop and then make money as a result of. But you over there feeling weirded because you was rapping your lyrics and now I'm crazy because I'm vlogging in public. And I don't care nothing about what these people think. I can afford to jump in my Porsche or my Mercedes or whatever other car that I have, but I choose to get on the bus and then vlog. You have to not care about anything or what anybody else says. You work. You work. You limit what it is that you spending on your lifestyle. All of the stuff that you're going to buy to impress other people is going to be outdated and ain't nobody going to care anyway. Lower your lifestyle. Deploy the overwhelming majority of your assets into the things that's going to add value. If you can, without even getting laid off, if you can save additional monies and you can move into your parents' basement, do it. Because we only care about our net worth, not the perception of success. That's for you. For us is the net worth. The key to becoming rich is to go broke. It's to have a mindset that you don't care about what other people think until you can do what it is that you want to do. Then that's when you break out. That's the goal. My goal every single month, no matter how much money I make, I'm going to deploy all of my resources back into assets and building things that ultimately is going to add value into my life. I want to go broke every month. Every month I'm searching. I'm searching for a new property to buy. I'm searching for some land. I'm searching for a new investment. I'm searching how to pour into y'all. That was a part of the budget to give y'all $21,000 last Sunday, and then I'm going to deploy that on Tuesday coming up. My every goal is to die empty and then deploy every resource into making more money. That's the goal. So let me go ahead and read some of the super chats, and then we're going to continue over with the show. Got to change our mindsets or align yourselves or be around people that's more closely aligned to the direction that you're going in. And that way you ain't got to feel embarrassed. Amafi says, remote 2 to 3 jobs revolution is such a game changer. Shout out to you. I agree with you. Also, Green Beret is in the building, says, how long did it take you to feel recovered? How long did it take to feel you recovered from going broke or start to see progress after 26? 27? I could have moved out immediately. I was starting to boom. I was starting to get it. In 2009, I was back on my feet. I was chilling, though. I was chilling. In 2009, I was back, but I was chilling. Because I realized that, man, all of this money, why would I go out and not give it out to somebody else and I don't even need to go out there and do so? I'm going to just stay down for the next 10 years. That was my goal. Stay down for the next 10 years. But my father died in 2017, and so we expedited the process a little bit. And then that's when we started breaking out. Stay down for 10 years, get it, and then go. And it's not how you feel, it's whether or not, listen, develop a plan and execute. Stick with the plan and execute. Don't go based off of your feelings. Emotions is going to get you in trouble. Emotions is going to get you in trouble. Don't go based off of how you feel. How long did it feel? No. Go based off of the results. Andre Johns says, or Andrew Johns says, not true. My wife's name is Edna, and she was born in 84. Oh, man. Shout out to Edna. Shout out to Andre Johns. Andre, you got two first names, though, or Andrew. You know you can switch your name around and be John Andrew. Aha. Shout out to the 20 ball. I appreciate you. David Williams in the building says, what did those repossessions do to your credit, and how do you build it back up? Sounds like I need a coaching call. What do you mean, how did those repossessions affect my credit? It messed up my credit. Guess what I had? I had a wife. Man, I didn't care nothing about them repossessions. I was like, take my car, throw away the key. Take my car, throw away the key. See, that's one of the benefits of being married. I had a wife. They was like, Anton, we're going to take you down from 805 to 505. I was like, but I'm back with an 813, and her name is Rita. Take my car, throw away the key. How long is it going to last on my credit? 7 years? All right, I got you. By the time that I execute this plan and I'm ready to break back out, I'm going to have a clean slate out here in these streets. You know what I'm saying? Let me get a round of applause for the married folks that's in the building. Good morning, Anton. If you have over 1,000 people watching but 300 plus likes, what's the causes of that? People lazy. I don't know. I don't tell people to do what they do. They got to do whatever it is that they want to do. You know what I'm saying? Maybe some of them is haters. D. Moore says, thank you, fam, for your knowledge on the compensation package information. I was able to ask that question in my interview at Tesla. And when I say Tesla goes all out, I mean Elon is 100% correct. You know what I'm saying? You know, y'all catching it? Listen, I'm still from Detroit. A Mafi says people get 100,000 and expect lifestyle creep and spend more. Facts. And that's how you end up broke. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to that. What's the point of having a wife if you can't fully leverage it? You know what I'm saying? Fahim Jackson says, I'm going for a certificate as a cloud specialist from January through May. Do I qualify for employment in IT or do I need more? Is a certificate worth it? I think that what I would tell people to do is get the certificates as you get the degrees. Most of the time, if you go to a community college, you'll be able to get the certificates and then take the exact same classes in order for you to get the degrees. That's what I tell people to do. So you can try to get the certificate, but I think that you should do both. And yeah, a certificate can be enough if the economy is allowing for it. So when a competition heats up, they're going to go for the people that got the degrees above the people that just got the certificates. Certificates are supposed to be supportive, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you don't know what you're talking about. But having a degree qualifies you for positions that you're going to get in the future also. That's why I tell people to take the long way. Don't always do it the short way. Corey Collins says, saw your convo on Harley initiated. Sad to see a successful man get triggered. And instead of having a combo for understanding, he tried to throw shots and paint a narrative after you left. Keep killing the game. Hashtag bag chasers. Shout out to the chasers. Shout out to the chasers. You know what we do. Queen V is in the building again. Says, when will the $50 bag chaser slots open? Now, if you are a $15 bag chaser member, usually what we do is when a slot opens, we reach out to you based off of when you join, and so you automatically qualify for it. So look out for your emails. Check your emails, and then the slot is going to open to you specifically. I don't want to do a first come, first serve because if I open it up and then somebody hurry up and get it that just joined the bag chasers, y'all going to be mad about it. Jason Harrison says, it's been a minute since we chatted, trying to get a reoccurring coaching call in with you. Make sure you email me at antondaniels413@gmail.com, and I'm going to get you slotted. Thank you for the fireball. Let's continue to get into the show. T.I. has some of the best music for the streets that I've ever heard. In my opinion, right behind Jeezy. Right behind the Snowman, because you can't ban the Snowman. I believe that T.I. has some of the greatest songs that came out of the South. Real talk. I'm not a fan of T.I. The person. Let me revise that. I'm not a fan of T.I. the comedian. I'm not a fan of T.I. the comedian. I think that he's a horrible comedian. I am a fan of T.I. the musician. I'm not a fan of T.I. and the way that he projects how we're supposed to raise our children. I am a fan of T.I. the businessman. You catch my drift? What that means is that we evaluate everything based off of its own merits. If somebody comes in and they present you some information, then you evaluate the information. You don't necessarily take into consideration the person that you don't like. You evaluate the information. You argue the point. We don't use ad hominems. And just because you don't necessarily like how somebody did something on this front doesn't mean that you can't evaluate them and say, yeah, they made a good play. I love the businessman. I may not necessarily like the father. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people don't like Oprah. They don't like what it is that she came up off of as far as these feminist narratives. But I'd be a fool to not understand how Oprah was able to leverage her celebrity in order to continue to parlay that into being a billionaire. You see what I'm saying? You may not like Oprah, the Maui resident, but you got to respect Oprah, the business person that built an entire network. So you got to be able to take the meat and spit out the bones. Don't always look at the person to determine whether or not you're going to take information from them. Look at the argument to determine whether or not you should disqualify them from having a conversation. But T.I. recently pulled up on some people, I guess down there in the ATL shawty, and he has some things to say.
Ain't no party until I get straight.
My bad, boy.
Ain't nobody coming until I get straight. Ain't nobody getting nothing until I get straight. You want to see it? You want to show it to him or should I? Yeah, the cloud, me and my son know. Somebody show it to him. Somebody show it to him. Oh, okay.
Sometimes these videos are so chaotic that we can't really tell what's going on, but I think it's going to give us some clarification as the video goes on.
Guess what? I'm gonna address it every night. Nigga, tomorrow night, the next night, the next night, the next night, the next night.
The next night.
The next night, ain't nobody getting no money. Ain't nobody getting no money in this.
T.I. walked up on them boys up in that spot and them promoters, and he said, nobody in here is getting no money in this joint as a result of using my name, my face, my son's face on this flyer in order to get people in this club with false promotion. And guess what? I 100% agree. I think that we are in an interesting time because it's very difficult to minimize the impact of your celebrity and people leveraging your name. And so if somebody actually creates a flyer or they promote a party as a result of T.I. going viral or his son or whatever like that, and then they put them on a flyer to make it seem like they gonna be there, that's disrespectful in my opinion. It doesn't matter about how I feel about T.I., the comedian, or whether or not I agree with his son. You can't do that. I agree with them 100%. Unfortunately, he got to be in a space where he going to be painted as the bad guy, or he got to go out there and really stand on business in real life. And they in his city promoting his name, his likeness, his image, and his son in order to get people inside of a club. And T.I. just basically pulled up and said, ain't nobody going to be getting no money today. Ain't nobody going to be getting no money today as a result of using my name, my likeness, and my image in order to continue to promote y'all stuff.
Ain't nobody getting no money. You have a chat. Look. Do you see it? Do you see it? Do you see it? Put your chat face on the flyer to promote a club. You can talk to me. Until then, ain't nothing going. Ain't nobody getting nothing going. Nothing. Call who you need to call. Do what you need to do. Ain't nothing happening. No money, no beers, no partying, no sections, nothing. You put me and mine on the flyer, get me everything.
Now, let me tell you something. That's how you stand on business in real life. I know his son think he gangster. And walking up on a bunch of dudes that's having a party and walking up there and telling them ain't nobody getting nothing. You ain't getting no section money, no beer money. I want everything. I want the money. I want the cars. I want the clothes. I want the hoes. Shea Butter, you said I wouldn't even have showed up. I would have just sued. Now, that's the part that I want to have a conversation about, right? That's the part I want to have a conversation about. Because it's a delicate balance that you have, because everybody said that they would have sued, but our criminal justice system, not even our criminal justice system, our civil justice system is a very flawed system in that it's filled with a lot of fluff and possibility of winning and losing, and then you got to find the people to actually sue, and then even if you sue, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to pay because they may not have the ability to pay and all of this other type of stuff. It's a tricky game to be in once you start getting money, and whether or not you want to start leveraging those resources in order to go after the people that's using you in a negative way and trying to promote their own stuff in order to continue to run it up. See, I understand where T.I. stand with this, and I don't necessarily think that I'm going to be the type of person to do it the way that he would do it, but I understand his frustration, and I understand where it is that he's standing on business. I get it. Somebody said suing wasn't necessary. Everyone lived happily ever after. Let's say everybody come to a amicable solution. I don't want you doing bad business in the first place. I don't want you to do, but then at the same time, you got to make an example out of somebody in order to ensure that it don't happen again. Because I've seen this happen over and over again. Some celebrity, some person come in, they do a show in a city, and then you know what happens? Promoters start turning into janky promoters, and they put their face on a flyer in order to sell tickets. And this is what happens, and this is why it's a problem for the actual entertainer, right? Because it ruins their reputation. It makes it seem like when that person doesn't show up to that party that they were getting paid for. It makes it seem like they was booked for a party, but that they never showed up. And so the fans then sour on it. Meanwhile, the promoters make a bunch of money as a result of it. You starting to kill your reputation when in reality they never had you booked and they was just using you in order to get a bag in the first place and steal money from the people. This happens all the time. It'd be a promoter coming into town and they say, oh, Drake is coming here, whatever, and his name is on the flyer. And the reality is that he was never booked for that and he was never showing up in the first place. Meanwhile, fans is going to get mad at Drake acting like he just didn't show up or he a diva. And the reality is he was never booked for that in the first place. And so you want to catch 22 because it's like, yo, you want to address it. You don't want people ruining your reputation. You don't want things continuing to go wrong. How do you stand on business? And then at the same time, you got to start deploying lawyers and putting out resources in order to sue people that may not even be getting money and they just janky promoters and they may have just booked a little night spot and they ain't even got no money and I'm supposed to chase them down? It's a catch-22 to be in.
And if you can't, don't play with me. I don't know if y'all from here. Don't play with me in this city. It's my city. Don't play with me in this city. Yo. Yes.
Now everybody quiet. Everybody quiet all of a sudden.
I'm not upset. I had no emotion. Yeah. What's that, man? Cut the music off. Serve the drink.
Dang. And he got him clearing out. I agree with him 100%. I agree with him 100%. If you want to do business, and see, this is why, you know, I do a lot of interviews. But the one thing that people will never, ever say, though they could say they don't like my message. They could say I don't like how I deliver it. They could say I'm arrogant. They could say a lot of things. But nobody, not one person that I've ever done business with, not one, could ever say that I owe them money in real life. And no person could ever say that I robbed them. And nobody could ever say I did bad business or that they was not absolutely positively taken care of over and above beyond whatever it is that they expected to be taken care of based off of the business that we agreed to. We do good business. And so he expects the same as a result. We on time. We take care of business. I fly my people first class to and from. I give them the best hotel rooms. I make sure that they're taken care of. They don't pay for nothing. They don't do anything. They don't lift a finger. They got a driver. They got the best cars. I leverage the S500. Literally, that's why I bought the car. I bought the car from a business perspective in order to get my people to and from the airport and wherever it is that you got your own private driver. As a matter of fact, Lamar Odom went and bought the exact same car that my driver was taking him back and forth in based off of his experience when he flew into Detroit and he did the interview with me. That's a fact. And there is nobody that I've ever done business with that has ever turned me down in order to do business again because they know I'm about my business. And so I think that people have to be above board. They cannot be out here finessing. I agree 100% with what T.I. had to say. And he stood on it. He stood on it. And so I don't disagree with it. I think it's difficult to be able to enforce it, but And the worst part about it is he shouldn't have never even had to get out of his bed to go and address that junk in the first place. But he had to make an example out of somebody. Let's continue. Over in New York, I'm going to be reading Super Chat shortly. Over in New York and Chicago, I didn't forget about y'all. I know y'all thought that we was going to have a day off, but we didn't.
The Chicago police officer who is supposed to uphold the law is charged with breaking it.
CBS 2's Suzanne Lemieux joins us now from the Layton Criminal Court building where that officer appeared just a short time ago. Suzanne.
Jim Marie, she is charged with felony disorderly conduct and false report of an offense. Now, she said that she was robbed at gunpoint while she was off duty. Prosecutors say that did not happen. Prosecutors say on September 23rd, Chicago police officer Zondranica Williams called 911. She told the operator her name and that she was an officer.
Hold on, wait. Let's back up for a minute. You know we always gotta do a full body cavity search, and we got a profile because I am a heavy FBI profile watching movier. Mine hunters. I love mine hunters. And so the first thing that I do is I start profiling people because that's what the movies taught me to do. Mine hunters on Netflix, which is an excellent show, taught me not only that, but it was another show. I used to watch that show when I was broke. What was the name of that show? Was that the show that I was? No, I was watching House Hunters. And then I started watching another show that had Shamar Moore in it. And they were FBI profilers. What was the name of that show where they were FBI profilers and they had Shamar Moore in it? I know somebody in the chat. Yep. We're going to do a full body cavity search. That's a woman. Hold on. Let me help y'all to understand something because it ain't no pause. It looked like a man maybe to y'all, talk like a man maybe to y'all, but that is a woman. Criminal Minds. Shout out to Anastasio Rodriguez. Toy. Criminal Minds. Criminal Minds taught me how to be an FBI profiler, right? And let me say this as we're profiling, okay? I know they got the hoodie. I know they got the braids. I know it ain't no makeup, all of that other type of stuff. But let me tell you something, fam. We will be doing full body cavity searches because at the end of the day, under that hoodie, that's a grown woman. I was watching a Instagram reel the other day. And this girl gonna get mad because she was dressed like a boy, and she gonna get mad because a guy pulled up on her in the car and tried to holler at her. B. Winning said that's one handsome lady. Yo. It's a lot of things that I'm gonna hit pause on, but I'm gonna listen. If you say that I want to see it through because under them clothes, I got pros. I got hoes in different area codes. Hoes. Oh, y'all ain't never let me be quiet before I get myself into something that I ain't gonna be able to get myself out of. I was just about to tell a story. I will say this. If you've never seen some of these chicks that dress like dudes that then decide that they wanted to be a woman that day and then they take their clothes off, it's crazy. It's crazy out here in these streets. You'd be like, "Oh, you a full blown woman. You all the way a woman." All right, that's cool. I got you. But this is a police officer in Chicago. And they said that they got robbed for $5,000, and now they being prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. And I agree with them.
Williams called 911. She told the operator her name and that she was an officer. She said she had been robbed of $5,000 in cash while in the alley by her garage on the 8,000 block of South Wabash.
An exact amount of $5,000? Exactly $5,000. Okay, I got you, boo. First red flag.
Police arrived. She told them her surveillance cameras weren't working. Prosecutors say Williams described the robbery in detail several times, including giving police a description of the suspect. She told officers on the scene the suspect held her at gunpoint and said, "Give me everything you got." Police got surveillance video from a neighbor. It showed the 37-year-old taking a duffel bag out of her car, then walking in and out of camera view. No one else ever appeared on screen.
So you thought that you was the only person that had a Ring camera? All they gonna do is they're gonna canvass the neighborhood, they're gonna go across the street, and they're gonna find out who else got a camera out here in these streets. Okay, can I see your camera? I'm subpoenaing the information from that camera. I need your information, and we trying to solve for a crime in the area, and then the neighbors are gonna participate. Dumb. Come on, baby. So you turn your security cameras off, said you got robbed. I don't understand? Okay, so what was the point of this? I'm trying to understand what's the point of this.
Their surveillance video, she was also wearing a different shirt than the one officers saw her in when they arrived at her home to take the report. 7 days after Williams made the report, police said her claims were not true. She turned herself in to police this Tuesday. She had been with the department for 8 years and worked at the 1st District as a patrol officer. In a statement, Chicago police said she was relieved of police powers on November 28th, 2023.
8-year veteran. Messed up your job. Now you getting prosecuted. You might be going to jail. Oh, and for what? And for what? You might be going to jail and you don't even, you threw it all away over a false claim of $5,000. For what? Now you ain't got no job and you about to be probably going to prison? And your own police officers had to investigate you and now they embarrassing you. That ain't the only thing that's happening out here in Chicago.
Now look at this mess, caused by a group of thieves targeting ATM machines by breaking windows to get inside businesses. They've tried it 3 times, hitting one business twice in River North. Today, the crew slammed an SUV into the store. CBS 2's Sharday Gray spoke to the owner who watched it all unfold from her home.
For the 4th time, Galleria Market is cleaning up glass and boarding up their entrance. The River North building had major damage in yet another crash and grab burglary.
What's going on over here in Chicago, man? Honestly, y'all got that Chinese fentanyl over there that stepped on with horse tranquilizers. What are y'all smoking over in Chicago? Because, see, the drugs over in Philly, they just making them lethargic. They laying on the street. They taking a nap in the middle of the intersection. But in Chicago, whatever it is that they putting inside of y'all drugs or y'all water, it's causing y'all to just crash out. I honestly think that it is a listen, I know y'all don't believe in spirits. I know y'all don't believe in principalities. I know y'all don't believe in all of this stuff that is ghosts and all of this stuff that's running around you, and that is something that can get on you that cause you to start thinking a certain type of way, get depressed and crashed out. But I think that it only exists within the Chicago city limits. Whatever it is, this super monster demonic power that has got a grip on y'all city, y'all might need to pray that away. To go and get an ATM, you do okay, so you're gonna do $100,000 worth of damage to try to get $1,300 out of an ATM. Empire Foundation said a small number of mother effers is doing this. No, I don't think so. I think it's a lot of people that's doing it. I think that city is cursed. I genuinely think that Chicago is cursed. Look at this. Who in their right mind say I'm going to cause $100,000 in damage to try to get $1,300 out of an ATM? That's insane. Look at that. Can you imagine waking up and seeing that?
Burglary in the city. Ria Patel owns the store. She got a security alert about the burglary. Patel saw the would-be thieves in real time.
So we turn on the cameras from home and all we can see is a black Jeep trying to ram their car in to get inside the store.
Police say a group of people crashed a SUV into the store. They tried to steal the ATM but failed, leaving it on the sidewalk.
Y'all know how heavy an ATM is? I know somebody whose business is basically ATMs. They don't even keep a whole lot of money inside of those type of ATMs, to be honest with you, for it to even be. Okay, so you broke it. You couldn't get it. You couldn't get into the part that actually had the money. And so you caused $100,000 worth of damage and you tore up the ATM and you left it on the sidewalk. Somebody went into that store, seen that basic ATM, said that, yo, we going to come back, steal a Jeep, crash it into it, try to get the ATM out, unplugged it, couldn't get it up on the Jeep, and now y'all left it in the street. What's happening in what's Chicago? Chi-Town. Chi-Town. Lord, in your Son's name, Heavenly Father, you said where 2 or 3 were gathered in your name. You said where 2 or 3 were gathered in your name, that there you were in the midst of them. We come before you on the city that we're choosing not to travel to, Chicago, Illinois, and we're asking for you to intercede and to cleanse that place of demons, but don't let them go outside of city limits. Just destroy them utterly, because we don't want them running over into our cities, our neighboring cities. We know that Detroit, Michigan is a neighbor to Chicago, and we are on the upswing. We've prayed the demons outside of our city. We don't want what's happening in Chicago to come over to our city. Listen, God, I don't ask for much. For myself personally, I don't ask for anything. I just ask what you want me to do, and then I go out and execute. I ask for this, to intercede on this crime-ridden, demonic, horrible, overly taxed, bad legislation, migrant sanctuary city that continues to not close off the borders and misrepresent the people, the funds, and raise their property taxes in order to pay for this. I ask you to intercede. In Jesus' name, amen.
Patel says she watched helplessly from her home.
The ATM they wanted to get into, but they also have a Bitcoin machine inside. So but we couldn't tell because they could also want to get the liquor.
The suspects then took off, along with people waiting in other vehicles.
It's sad that the city has come to this point.
Patel says the structural damage done to her store will cost more than $20,000. And she says this isn't the first time she's been hit.
We've got looted twice during the lootings. We got robbed 2 weeks ago. Same thing, trying to break through the windows. We got that repaired, and then this morning, this is what happened.
Patel is...
Time to move out, Patel. Hey, Paddle. I know your name is Patel, but I'm going to call you Paddle because it's easier for me to be able to pronounce that. Paddle. You got to get up out of there, Paddle. Got to get up out of there. Let the insurance company pay you out. Take care of it. Take your store, move your resources, and go and open up somewhere else that's a little bit safer. You got to get up out of there, Paddle. Got to get up out of there.
Now questioning if she wants to stay in River North.
We don't know if we can continue doing business in the city of Chicago if this continues, because every other time this happened, not a single solution has came out from it.
Reporting in...
I know it's wrong, but see, it ain't even over in just Chicago. Did y'all hear about the recent viral video that happened over there in New York? Did y'all hear about the recent viral video that happened over there in New York? Check this out.
Total mayhem in Midtown Manhattan.
That's right. As you see here, a man ends up on top of an SUV after allegedly stealing a car, then crashing it into several others.
Teresa Briella walks us through this bizarre situation.
Yo, watch out, watch it.
It's the last thing you'd expect to see on a Sunday morning in Midtown. A man idling in his car when someone jumps into the car and attempts to take off. And that was just the beginning. The initial carjacking happened a block away at 55th and Broadway. What you don't see on that video is the suspect driving around the block and crashing into that light pole moments after hitting a yellow taxi. That taxi had passengers inside. The story full video picks up with 37-year-old suspect Terrence Brooks acting erratic, leaning on the stolen car, lying down in front of a bus on 8th Avenue, and even jumping on top of a moving SUV. He was only arrested after he smashed in that vehicle's windshield.
He was only arrested after the people had surrounded him. So listen, he carjacked somebody. He went and crashed into a taxi cab with a bunch of other people in it. He laid down in the street in front of a bus, and then he started jumping on top of cars and smashing in their windshield. Y'all don't think that it's something that's going on out here in these streets? Honestly, y'all don't really think that it's something that's really happening beyond whatever it is that y'all just see on the surface? This is like a video game. This is really like a video game in real life. I've never seen such a behavior openly and publicly for everybody to witness.
It's the kind of madness you'd have to see to believe, the kind of chaos outsiders think must happen all the time in New York, when in reality it's quite rare. The suspect was charged with stealing that vehicle and reckless driving, which seems like an understatement after you see the video. Miraculously, there were no serious injuries reported.
Wait. So you steal a car. Listen to what's happening in our country, because it's not just for the criminals. It's also the criminal justice system and the rules and the regulations that's set up in order to govern us, right? He stole a car. No. He carjacked somebody, crashed the car into a yellow cab with other people in it, laid down in front of a bus, jumped up on top of another car and started stomping in the windshield. And they got charged with theft and reckless driving. That was his charges. Theft and reckless driving. Y'all be safe out here in these streets. Let me read some of these super chats and then we're going to continue over with the show. I need to get over to the money. AJ Wise says, I recently got garnished for a 2007 repo. Sound like you don't know how to move a little bit differently, guy. Next Level MF says, no lawyer needed. Stand on business. Shout out to Next Level MF in the building. Seek the Light says, happened when filming commercial once for Sprite. Background were hired believing a certain artist was in the commercial, ended up being someone totally different that no one would have shown up for. People be finessing out here in these streets. Wealth Building Journey is in the building, says, checking in late, replaying on double speed, listening to the money section now. Here's a book to recommend, Die with Zero, Get All You Can from Your Money and Your Life by Bill Perkins. I've never read that. First time I've ever heard of that book before. I'm going to check it out. Latrell says she pulled a Carly Simmons stunt. Yes, she did. I don't know what's wrong with these people. Anthony Kelman says, preach it, Anton. Thank you for the 20 ball. I appreciate you. Ray Sean is in the building. Shout out to one of my greatest students. Ray Sean says the movie Barbershop already taught us this lesson. No, they still stealing ATMs. Next Level MF says bank ATM has more money, but that's what I heard. Yeah, but you ain't getting them big old. You ain't getting in no. Have y'all seen a bank ATM? Look like a vault. Y'all ain't getting in that. Y'all need to stop stealing anyway. Empire Foundation says there are cameras everywhere in Chicago, and they want it to happen. The purge submitted. Chicago is doomed. Nah, fam. I don't think nobody want that to happen. To a business. Mr. Lott says, I'm telling you, bro, they are high off of that Sherm. Telling me they out there doing that Sherm. My dog Five Brown says, yo, AD, you know I have, it's one of my chasers. You know I have an ATM business, 5 machines. They recommend we only put 2,000 in those machines. I actually was referring to you, Five Brown, when I said it. 2,000 in those machines. I had one of mine stolen in North Philly by 14s. Silly. Them only $220 was in the machine at the time, and I had insurance to receive. I see you, Fi. Let's move over. Let's get over into the money, y'all. It's a couple different things that I want to tap into. First thing is Nespresso. Have y'all heard of Nespresso? I know y'all heard of Keurig, but Nespresso is a company that is trying to compete with Keurig and take over Keurig in the United States of America. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's go through this, ladies and gentlemen.
Americans drink an estimated 440 million cups of coffee every day, and the way we drink them has changed a lot over the past decade. In 2011, only 7% of Americans had a single-serve brewing system in their homes. By 2020, that number reached 40%. Keurig, Dr. Pepper, and Nestle are the 2 companies responsible for this growing trend.
Nestle invented the coffee pod concept with Nespresso, and they have the largest market share in the world with Nespresso. But in the US, effectively, the key system is the K-Cup system that is owned by Keurig.
Keurig's U.S. coffee sales surpassed $4.3 billion in 2022. While Nespresso doesn't break out its U.S. numbers from global sales, it's estimated that they reached $1.5 billion domestically for that same year. That's up from just $300 million in 2013.
Wait. Let me back that up for a minute. That's a heck of a growth spurt. Estimated to be up from 300 million to 1.5. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. That's a 500% growth rate. That's a 500% growth rate. From 300 million estimated to an estimated 1.5 billion, and they're already encroaching on the $4.3 billion that Keurig made in 2022. That's crazy.
$5 billion domestically for that same year. That's up from just $300 million in 2013.
Nespresso really started as a startup. Within the big Nestle world, you couldn't replicate espresso at a touch of a button. You had to have certain skill set. You had to have a very, very expensive machine to do it. And really for the first 10 years, it really was about starting to replicate that experience, to gain penetration, to gain consumer knowledge about this. But soon after, single serve became an extremely successful category worldwide.
How much are the pods? Maybe they're going to say it inside of this video. How much are the pods for Nespresso? Because a lot of what they're doing is they're taking a concept, and this is one of the things that a lot of the very smart entrepreneurs do, or a lot of the innovators do. It's the same thing that Amazon did. They took an industry and they seen where an opportunity was, and then they disrupted it, right? You look at something that's already being done, and a lot of business owners is really not taking advantage of this because so many different people are trying to be inventors. You do not have to be an inventor. Let me tell you something. The first business that I've ever sold, and I made a lot of money from it. The first business that I sold, I took a product online that everybody was already starting to get into, and I recreated it. And I used my UX UI background and my software engineering background in order to take a product that I thought could be done better and given to the consumer a better product. We made a lot of money off of Google AdSense at that particular time because we was running ads on the site, and we were building relationships with different labels that then allow for us to be able to put certain music up. Once I seen the exit door, the exit strategy, because there was a lot of large record labels that were starting to come in order to encroach on the business itself. I believe that Drake had dropped a mixtape back then, and it was one of the mixtapes that he dropped was originally it was a mixtape, and then they turned it into the album. If you're seeing this, it's too late. If you're seeing this, it's too late. By that time, we had already started exiting the business, and we sold the platform over into somebody that then converted it over into their platform, and then they changed the name and made her sign a non-disclosure agreement about it. But the first business that we sold, we basically took what it was that everybody else was already doing, and we reinvented it. We started having a crazy growth rate. We started making noise in the industry, and then we got bought out. You don't always have to come up with a new solution or a new invention. All you have to do is look at the trends, look at what's going on in the industry, and then make the adjustment, right? Create something or do something based off of the possibilities or the prospects of what's in that industry. What's the growth prospects? What is it projected to be at a certain amount of time, right? How can I then get my little piece in there? And then you just come in and you don't have to reinvent the wheel, but you just give them a better experience. All you have to do is give a better experience. That's it. Give a much better experience, and then it's going to be a profitable segment. All you got to do is fulfill a need or provide a service that's better than the ones that already got out there. They going to have to notice you, and either the competition is going to try to crush you or buy you out. And as you continue to do it, and if you're nimble enough, and if you minimize costs and you continue to focus on growth, the goal could be to buy out, or the goal continue to be profitability based off of keeping expenses low and to continue to keep the profits within the company. But that's basically what you do, is that you disrupt an industry by providing a better product and not reinventing the wheel. They already created the market for it.
Which company is spending its time thinking in an unfussy way, how can I meet the needs of the U.S. consumer? How do I make it something that's approachable and easy to use?
Analysts say that Keurig will likely remain the dominant player in the U.S. coffee pod market, but Nespresso is finally catching up.
They're not trying to beat Keurig. They're trying to carve out their part of the market, which is a very valuable part of the market because it is a value-added portion, which consumers will spend more money. But they're not really trying to dethrone Keurig.
When Nespresso entered the market in 1986, it was the world's first single-serve coffee system.
The targeting was wrong. It was office coffee. The dark capsule was wrong. Way too
I don't
heavy,
even know what he's saying.
Complicated to make. Something like 20% defect rate, 25%. It was just a disaster. People thought that.
Listen, I know that y'all say that this is like the language of love. What is he speaking? What is his accent? Italian or French? Yeah. Yo, have y'all ever seen that cartoon with the skunk that was always chasing a girl? And he thought that she was I think he thought that she was a skunk. He was a skunk. And he used to talk like this. I don't even be knowing anything that these people be saying sometimes, but it be making sense because as long as they talking money, I'm going to start to decipher it. Was the first country of America in the United States of America. And it was interesting market back then because, you know, it was something that was uncurated and we wanted to make sure that people. Yeah, Pepe Le Pew. Shout out to Pepe Le Pew. I love my audience. Pepe Le Pew. Pepe Le Pew used to talk like that. Shout out to the Pepe Le Pews out here selling Nespressos.
The thing is going to die by itself. Let's not worry about it.
Gayad stepped in as Nestlé's Nespresso CEO in 1988. Under his leadership, he says the coffee maker lowered the cost of its capsules by reducing the aluminum content and introduced the direct-to-consumer sales system called the Nespresso Club.
The thinking was that, okay, the thing is going to go bankrupt. Let's make it a small disaster. On this small area, tiny area of Switzerland, we did show that, yeah, the thing was a real business proposition. It was making money and at a very surprising rate.
He says the company...
Translation, they was going out of business because they didn't know how to run it more efficiently than they was, but it was a business proposition, and so we went in there and we swooped it up and we took it over and we made sure that we made it profitable. Now,
He scaled from there, first to the rest of Switzerland and then internationally. Its adoption in the US, however, was a slow burn.
3 years market, a market that broke even after 3 years, in year 3, and started to generate money from year 4.
In year 3. They don't say 3, they say a year 3. A year 3, we should make money.
4 onwards, the US was more like a 7 years market.
Just as Nespresso started to generate profits in the US, Keurig delivered its first single cup system for office use in 1998. It wasn't until 2003 that Keurig launched its first home coffee brewer. At this time, Keurig only made drip coffees, and Nespresso only made, yep, you guessed it, espresso.
Well, Nespresso's always been a very minority pod system in the United States. If you look interesting globally, right, Keurig has almost no presence outside of North America. So the US is a very anomalous market overall because of that.
Keurig surpassed $1 billion in US sales by 2010. Between 2010 and 2014, the Massachusetts brand more than tripled its annual sales in the US.
I wonder if part of that growth, let me go back to this graph. I wonder if part of this growth also had to do with timing, right? Because if you look at it, Keurig, look at that. Look at this, right? Keurig actually looks like its launch or the timing that this graph is showing that they're starting to take off with that $500 million in sales is what? Top of the recession. When people start cutting costs, right? And you know, they start marketing this and you can actually save a lot more money by just buying it and making it at home yourself, but it's much easier because you ain't got to do the same way as they brewed it back in the day. They did $500 million in sales in 2008. By 2010, it was 1.3. Now in 2014 is over in 2014, and you can see it trying to taper off, right? So in 2014, which is 6 years later, they were at 4.1, but in 2022, they're still at 4.5. 2014, they did 4.1 billion in sales. 2022, they did 4.5 billion in sales. Let's continue.
Between 2010 and 2014, the Massachusetts brand more than tripled its annual sales in the US.
How does it brew such great coffee?
Well, inside the brewer are these green filter
Look at that grown woman.
You were talking about the inflection point where we tipped over and became just a sensation that everybody was talking about and a gift that everybody wanted to get during the holidays. And then as we did that, it just snowballed.
During those 4 years, annual coffee consumption increased by 2 gallons per person.
Honestly,
People was stressed the heck out. But then, but here's the thing. This is the real business proposition. And I don't think that Nespresso or Keurig is really big on the actual machines themselves. I think that their goal is to sell pods. That's what the profitability is to sell the pods. Throw some 20-cent coffee over into, or even cheaper than that. Throw some 20-cent coffee, some 15, 10% coffee. Because when you start to do it at scale, it gets way more profitable than that. And hook people into the process. The machine, look, here's the thing about business. This is my own personal opinion. I know a lot of people have their own opinions about a lot of things, right? The money is not in the one hits. The money is in the continuous. If you get a customer, and I've always been taught this, one of my best mentors taught me this. He said, Anton, really do the math of what it costs to acquire a customer for a specific business. That's what you know your true cost is. And so that's the thing that we used to pitch when we used to use our development company, our web development company, when we would talk to whatever it is or whoever it is that wanted to develop an application, right? And we can say, well, you can create the best application in the world, but if nobody know about it, then what's the point of spending all of this money and doing it, right? So we want to fill a niche, and then we want to, along with that, put the marketing strategy together. So when you're coming up with a product, you also need to come up with the marketing strategy. But then as we were developing a marketing strategy for a lot of people, it always used to beat me in the head from my mentor, and he'd say, Anton, what's the true cost of acquiring a customer? Well, the true cost of acquiring a customer is an actual number. And so whatever your marketing strategy is, which Elon Musk does this perfectly because he doesn't even have a marketing department anymore. He just got Twitter, right? He can really say that Twitter and the cost of being able to acquire Twitter and how he's using it is a true marketing strategy, right? And so the true cost of acquiring a customer, right? Let's say you run an ad. Let's say you run an ad inside of the App Store, inside of the Apple App Store, right? And for every person that click on that ad, it costs you this amount of money. And then you got to take into consideration how long they hold on to that application and how often they use it and whether or not they're going to actually spend money within the application. Or let's say, for example, you run an ad or you run a promotion. Hey, I'm going to give you 30 days to try out this product, and then you can cancel it after 30 days or whatever, so on and so forth. What's the true cost of acquiring a customer, right? Because I don't think that the true goal for Keurig or Nespresso is only in purchasing the machines, because that's already a mature market. That's why you see that previous graph where it says, let me see if I can go back to it. $4.1 billion in sales in 2014. 9 years later, 8 years later in 2022, 2023, it's still $4.5 billion in sales. But here's the key. How do you drive the cost out, increase profitability? Because it's not just about sales. Sales is just a number that shows the health of a company and their ability to be able to market a product out to the customer. The true profitability of a company is driving out the cost. So how can we keep them invested or truly participating in what it is, the product that we putting together, while also continuing to become even more profitable by driving the cost out? I'll give you an example of a company that does it really bad. Peloton. Remember when we was live streaming during the pandemic and I was telling y'all, some of y'all was still around from then and stuff like that. Some of y'all is the early morning show people because we talk about money all the time. We've been talking about money for a long time. And during the pandemic, I said, y'all, Peloton is a bad move. Get the heck out of Peloton. And I don't usually give financial advice, but I'm just going to tell you what I'm doing. I made a lot of money from the pandemic, Peloton, Zoom, all of those companies, but get the heck up out of there. Why? Because their business model, in my opinion, was bad. A, they never made any profitability from manufacturing the bikes themselves, which means that their total cost of acquiring a customer was high. And then when you seen the sentiment of the customer, they were saying, we just want the bike. We don't want the subscription service. Peloton was largely dependent on the same business model as Keurig in that, A, you have to really have the pods in order for the Keurig to work. So when you then sell them to Keurig, you're not selling them to Keurig, you're selling them a lifetime of pods. That's why Nespresso wants to encroach upon Keurig's business. It's not just based off of the machines that they're manufacturing. It's not. It's based off of the fact that you have to buy the pods in order to use the machine effectively, which is a lifetime subscription for the customer. But when you seen Peloton, the first thing that came to my mind and how it is that I look at whether or not I'm going to invest in a company was, hey, people want the bike, but they don't necessarily want the subscription services. And not only do they not want the subscription services, Apple, with their Apple Fitness Plus and all of these different things, and the Apple Watch was blowing up and stuff, people already had their ability to be able to service themselves when it came to whatever their workout was. So why would they then subscribe to the Peloton Fitness or the classes? They were spending all of this money in order to go and get all of these coaches, and it was popping. And they had a boost during the pandemic, which then inspired a bunch of investors to inflate the stock price. And that's the time that we all got out, and then we left them holding the bag, and then Peloton fell off a effing cliff. But my point is, when you're looking at a lot of these companies, you want to evaluate how their long-term prospects and how they're going to make money long-term. That's why a lot of times you also want to look at these investor calls and hear these CEOs and these people and the CTOs and the CFOs speak to the business prospects of the company and whether they're a growth stock or a growth company, or whether they're already profitable. What part of the business are they profitable on, and what part of the business are they losing money on? Because I suspect that the business model for most companies is based in the idea that they want to have a customer for life, not just get a one-time hit. Because then that's when you're going to find yourself at the bad end of the stick. Let me see if I can fast forward a little bit.
By 2 gallons per person.
Nestle
or Peloton, my bad. Not Peloton, Marcus, Peloton.
Quite high quality coffee for sure, but not necessarily what the average Americans were looking at.
That all changed in 2014 when Nespresso introduced its Virtuo line of machines.
We were, I would say, limited to premium espresso coffees, and now we are launching this new technology which will be able to deliver a large cup, a very premium coffee large cup. And we know that coffee lovers in US, what they want is a long cup.
The launch of the Virtuo system coincided with Americans drinking less drip coffee and more single serve. George Clooney had been the face of Nespresso internationally since 2006, but in 2015 he became the brand's global ambassador and helped introduce Virtuo to American and Canadian consumers.
What's that? Nespresso. Is that coffee? Yeah.
In 2020, the US became Nespresso's largest market.
The market share of Nespresso in the US is about probably, let's say, 8 to 10%. It grew from, let's say, 5 to 6% maybe 5-10 years ago.
In 2018, Nespresso's parent company Nestle purchased perpetual rights to sell and market Starbucks products at retail worldwide. In 2022, Nestle's sale of Starbucks products crossed $4 billion.
A decade ago, Nestle was the biggest coffee company at retail in every region of the world except one, and that one was North America. Historically, Nescafe was not that big here, whereas it's huge everywhere else globally. Nespresso had only a very small presence, and still does in many ways. And what changed was Nestle bought the rights to Starbucks products at retail. So Nestle went from a relatively small player in retail coffee in the United States to the biggest player.
That deal was a sea of change for the Nestle strategy into retail for Nespresso compatible.
Keurig Green Mountain merged with Dr. Pepper Snapple Group to become Keurig Dr. Pepper in 2018. KDP announced a long-term partnership with Nestle in 2020 to continue selling Starbucks-branded pods.
It's the pods. It's the pods. That's the play. Listen, Nestle did not buy, and they did not merge, and they say merge, but in reality, everybody got stock options in the company, and then they continue to get rich as a result of it or whatever. And so the play from the companies and the value that they seen in Keurig had nothing to do with the machines. It had everything to do with me being able to manufacture the pods. It was leveraging their already built out infrastructure and their plants in order to continue to pump out pods based off of the drinking habits and the consumers that were already built out from this market. The goal wasn't to purchase them or merge with them based off of the machines. The machines are the novelty. The pods is the thing that keep you spending where the profitability is. I would be very interested to find out exactly what they make per pod. See? Look. I done already sold an espresso machine. I want an espresso machine. Y'all see her in the chat. Y'all see her in the chat. I already want an espresso. So they could be getting pods and y'all can have y'all little friends over. Girl, look at this new apartment that we got all over, looking over the water. And y'all put your the little pods going in. Come on, man. I don't even drink coffee and we wind up getting a bunch of Keurigs just so I can put some hot chocolate in it. You know what I'm saying? Let me go ahead and move over to the rest of the show. Out here messing up the bag. One more thing that I want to share with y'all before we get up out of here or before I open up the chat for y'all to be able to ask whatever questions that y'all want to ask. Man shows up, says he make $183,000 per year, and he's had 4 rental properties. Let's go ahead and evaluate that because I always want to go into the money, and then we're going to go from there. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. The link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Also on top of that, the best day to join the Patreon is the first day of the month. The best day to join the Patreon, first day of the month. I'm dropping a video today in the Patreon.
When I bought my first property, that was the most exciting and nerve-wracking time of my life. But I do feel like my story will help others see what's possible and hopefully inspire others to take action and control their life and get on the path to be financially free. If I feel uncomfortable or I feel fear, that means I'm learning. And that's what I felt when I bought my first property. I did not let fear take control of my actions. My name is Karan Vij. I'm 33 years old. I make $183,000 and I live in Chicago.
And he live in Chicago. And he live in Chi-Town stand up. It ain't just a place for y'all to get robbed at. It's a place where somebody making a lot of money and he got a lot of rental properties. Let me hear what he got to say. I'm going to drop the link in the chat shortly. Y'all do not have to be on camera. I'm only taking calls. I'm not going to pull you on camera, especially if you don't want to be. If you just insist that you want to be on camera, then we'll have the conversation. But I'm going to take calls. You guys do not have to be on camera.
This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is a long-term investment.
I tell people that all the time.
There's some months that you're going to make a lot of money. There's some months you're going to break even. And there's some months that you're going to lose money.
Nah, we're not going to lose no money.
In my enterprise, I average around $15,000 per month. And I have a portfolio worth over $3 million.
So he's $3 million, $2.3 million US. So that's Canadian versus US, all right? So let me say this also, right? Net worth is much different than income, all right? And then be very, very careful of people that tell you that they own this many millions of dollars worth of property, okay? Because they can be in control of it. They could own it technically if you want to go into that. But the question that you want to ask yourself is how much in equity do you have? Because the equity that you have in a property is the thing that substantiates your net worth. Okay, let me give you an example. Somebody can own $3 million in real estate. I want to break it down in a very simple C student's perspective. Somebody can own $3 million in real estate. Let's say that they own 6 houses, $500,000 a piece, $3 million in real estate, right? You're right, Yakar. What they're really doing is they're financing that. And so as they continue to gain equity in the property, and the two ways that they gain equity in the property is A, by paying off the property, paying more into the principal, which means that it's lowering the amount of money that you owe on the property. And then B, the value of the property hopefully going up and not down, but the value of property going up. And so when it gets appraised, basically the value of that property versus how much you owe into it is what contributes into your net worth. That's the equity that you have inside of the property. You have $100 million you got a $500,000 property, you owe $400,000 on it. That means that your net worth based off of that property alone is $100,000. Now, you can pull that equity out of it. You can do different things from it. You can get a loan. You can then leverage that in order to get more properties. But then that's when you have to start doing the math. So when they tell y'all kids, I know a lot of y'all like to tell y'all kids, hey, math don't mean nothing. It means a lot, because the numbers is the thing that the true thing that matters. And so different people have different strategies when it comes to building up their real estate portfolio. A lot of people like to acquire the property and then over a period of time, pull the equity out of the property to try to get another property. And so then they owe more on that property. They lose the equity in their property, but they technically still own a $500,000 property. You see what I'm saying? And so they're in control of two properties, but they only may have $100,000 in equity between the two. They may be in control of $1 million worth of property, but it does not necessarily mean that they have $1 million in equity or they have $1 million net worth. It means that they have a net worth of roughly $100,000. If you have $100,000 in equity, let's say you owe $50,000 on this one or $100,000, you have $100,000 in between what you owe and the amount that's owed on the property. And then on this property, you pull all of the equity out of it in order to buy the second one. Then you're starting to get a little bit more risky. You see what I'm saying? Because now you're carrying two properties and you're becoming interdependent on your renters in order to keep you afloat. Now, let's say, for example, one property over here, and I'm gonna get back into the video. Let's say, for example, this property over here, and this is the reason why I don't agree with a lot of these real estate gurus, right? Because yes, you can build wealth that way, and I'm not arguing against the ability to build wealth because there's certain different ways in which you can operate within real estate. But I believe in paying off the properties, and the reason that I do that is because I take less risk. Your ability to be able to carry that property if you have multiple vacancies, or let's say, for example, the pandemic happened. When the pandemic happened, they basically had to ask for a moratorium as a owner of the property because in certain cities, in most of the United States of America, they didn't require you to be able to pay rent or to have to pay rent. And so the landlord have to carry that property. So let's say you got 4 different properties, such as this man right here, right? And let's say they're $500,000 a piece. And let's say that the rent on those properties is between $2,000 and $3,000, let's say $2,500 per property. So now you have $10,000 in costs that you were basically getting coming over into your coffers. And the overwhelming majority of that, let's say $9,000 of that was going towards the mortgage, the insurance, the property taxes, and then any maintenance that come along with it, right? But now you got 3 of those people that decide that they don't want to pay rent. 1 of the people tore up the property. And so you still got to carry $9,000 in costs, even though you may only be getting $2,500 in rent. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Because they keep telling you to just throw money into real estate, but they're not necessarily telling you the risk that's involved. What you gonna do? Because your ability to be able to carry 4 mortgages with only 1 rent payment, and you got to turn over a property, what you gonna do? This is the part of the conversation that they're not gonna have for you. Now, on the flip side, let's say you take somebody like me that paid off the mortgage. It's a completely different conversation because not only is the majority of the rent, all of the rent almost, because yeah, you're going to take out some money in order to make sure that you account for any future maintenance. You got to pay the property taxes. You got to pay the homeowner's insurance or whatever, so on and so forth. But let's just say, for example, you got me, right? And I own 100% of the properties and I have no mortgages. I don't have the same risks that you do in order to try to build up wealth because I understand that the inherent risks that come along with it, I'm not willing to sustain it in order to continue to call myself a real estate investor. I know people that have a horrible stomach for continuing to do real estate because they had multiple different tenants that maybe had a problem or didn't pay the rent or they didn't vet one effectively and then the next person didn't do it or whatever. Or you got these people, somebody have a nightmare tenant where this guy is a professional thing where he knows it's going to take you 2 years to get him out of the property over there in California. So he's not going to pay it. And then he's going to keep filing stuff and all of this stuff. Listen, there's a lot that goes along with being a real estate investor. And if you do not understand the game and if you just jumping into it based off of some advice that somebody gave you or a course that somebody told you, and they're not giving you the full context to understand the risks and the rewards that come along with it, you are going to find yourself in a heap of trouble. You make $60,000, $70,000 a year. You carrying 7 properties because you pulled the equity out of it and you did this and you used your The fact that you was a veteran in order to, man, listen. Understand the risks, understand the rewards, and move very, very strategically, because nothing is 100% guaranteed. It's all risk involved. Let me play some more of this because I want to see his strategy. I'm going to drop the link in the chat for y'all to be able to ask a question.
In our family was to secure your future by making money.
And he make $183,000 a year too.
Are traditional in a sense. They always had a focus on wanting their kids to have an education and secure a 9-to-5 job. I've always had that in my brain. I've always wanted to be number one. I wanted to win. I wanted to use as much of my time as possible to make as much money as possible that I could. The biggest thing I've splurged on recently is spoiling my baby with new clothes. I do have some credit card debt because of the newborn. There's been a lot of unexpected expenses. However, I also chose not to pay off all of it because I'm using the money to, again, buy more assets. I use my line of credits strictly for the business. I either use them for any upcoming expenses that were not expected, or I use them to buy further assets.
So in his case, he's leveraging the line of credit. Maybe he got a HELOC, maybe he got whatever. He's using a line of credit in order to float himself if he ever has any kind of problems with the property, such as what I explained, or, you know, he's got to make sure that he take care of something, or you want to expand the business. He's using it for both to expand the business and probably get more properties, along with the idea that just in case anything happens, then he can use that in order to continue to sustain itself, right? So he's using it differently.
I have low monthly expenses because one of the perks that I have in my job is I do get a company car, which covers gas and insurance. The other perk is I get a company phone. I absolutely love debt.
But he's still being frugal.
I only like good debt. You have to use it properly. Good debt is debt that you have a strategy for. Good debt is when you use the debt for the purpose of generating future accelerated profits.
And again, there's multiple different strategies that come along with it. A lot of people like to call it good debt, bad debt. I think that all debt is bad, but you can leverage it to continue to expand and grow if you use it carefully. So there is no one-size-fits-all solution, but I want y'all to get the entire context.
$100,000 cash that I'm using to buy up more property when the price is right. I also have this $100,000 sitting in a high-interest savings account, generating over 5% of almost risk-free interest.
So he's making $5,000 off of 100. I don't like it. I don't like it personally, but it's the safest way for him to be sitting on $100,000 in his mind, I'm guessing. There's no wrong answer here.
Take advantage of my 401k. I save over 10%. However, my long-term strategy is to buy up as much real estate as possible, and that's the strategy I'm executing. I realized that the houses that we were renting were all charged per room. It wasn't a house. The landlord was charging per room. And when I did the math, I realized that by charging per room, you could actually accelerate your gains compared to any other real estate option.
The problem with that, though, is that you have more turnover, right? And it's similar to having an Airbnb. It's a very similar strategy in that he likes to probably go into a college town and then charge per room. They do that up in Ann Arbor a lot. Based around the University of Michigan. You can get away with that around a college town a lot more also. But it's similar to Airbnb, but a just slightly different business model. I like to have the long-term lease and just have one family in it, and that allows, and you can be way more profitable because charging per room, it's almost like if you go to Sam's Club and you buy it by the box, or you can buy it and then sell the individual packages, which is what small other businesses and gas stations do, right? Like you can buy it by the box and you can sell it per, right? You can be that person, or you can sell it wholesale. You can be the dope dealer and sell it by the key, right? You can sell it by the pound and you can sell it by the key, or you can be the person that sell it by the nickel, dime. You know what I'm saying? You can do it all that way.
The
biggest investment that you can make first is in yourself, that then allows you to even be able to get into the game. Everybody is trying to life hack their way through into success. But the reality is that you have to invest in yourself first. And the best way for you to do that is to invest in yourself and then create a bigger shovel that allows for you to then get into the game and then leverage it even more once you realize the success that comes along with it. I'm about to start pulling y'all up. I just want to see a little bit more of this. They don't. In Ann Arbor, up by the University of Michigan, largely didn't even experience a recession in 2008 like the rest of the country, and even Metro Detroit did.
And number 3, a lot of people.
That's why they say location, location, location.
People think that one of the negatives is the high turnover because of the shorter term leases. That is true, but that is also the opportunity for higher gains because you can now readjust your rent to the current market levels.
All right, that's enough. Shout out to him. That's a really good strategy. I like his strategy. I think it works for him. For me, my strategy is a little bit different. You know what it is that I teach in the Patreon. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description, as well as pin to the top of the chat. And let me acknowledge a couple different people really quickly, and then I'm going to start bringing y'all up. First, I want to acknowledge my dog, Justin, with the 10 ball. Thank you, my friend, for contributing into the platform on Cash App. Also, on top of that, Counselor Mr. G says, Anton, did you think that people were only getting robbed in the shot? Yes. And his rental properties is not even in Chicago, but that's okay. People out there getting to the bag, don't forget, it's the financial capital of the Midwest. I agree with you on the net worth, though. Shout out to the Counselor Mr. G out here in the building, supporting the platform and the show. Let me start to bring y'all up. Darnell, I'm about to go to you, big dog. Thank you, Counselor Mr. G. I appreciate you, big bro. Sponsored by TIEGE Hanley. Again, make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description, as well as pinned to the top of the chat. And then I'm going to hit my dog, CJS. Let's do this rapid fire style. Darnell, what up, big dog?
What's going on? How you doing, Tom?
Yeah, chilling. Hold on. What's the word, bro? I see you exercising in the background.
Yeah, trying to get sexy for New Year.
Yeah, I see you. What's the word? What you got for me?
I got a quick question, financial. Okay. So, right now I'm sitting with 200 in a high yielding savings account.
200,000?
Yeah.
All right. What's the word?
Okay, so I'm currently renting right now, right?
What is a high yield savings account? What is the interest rate on that high yield savings account?
4.7.
Okay. Continue, my friend.
Okay, so should I put 20% down on a mortgage?
Yes.
Get a loan for the rest, or should I go in cash, buy something for 200, and then
yes,
get my money out of it after? Which one?
Why do you wait? What do you? Every answer is better than the next one. Why do you need to get your money out of it? You have the equity in it. It's not going anywhere. Why do you need to have the access to the capital? What are you trying to do?
I want to build a small portfolio.
Of?
So like one
of rental Smurfs? Or what?
Of rental properties. So like the first one, it'll be I'll live in there for 6 to 8 months and I'll go ahead and I'll move out, but I'll need more capital.
How did you get $200,000? That's my real question.
Oh, working.
Okay, so you stacked 200. Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm a medical traveler, so you know the grind is easy.
So how often are you at home?
Like 7 days a month.
So you at home 7 days a month. And how much is your rent?
$1,600.
Huh?
$1,600.
You ain't got no family that you can just keep your stuff at?
I can, but I'm working in New York, and I live in Maryland. So if
you only home family, 7 days a month.
I know, but my family live in a whole different state.
Hold on. Let me do the math right here. I just need to understand something.
It's like 1980. It's like 1980.
Hold on. Wait. 7 times. You home 84 days out of the year, out of 365 days. Probably not even that.
So you saying I should just go ahead and buy property cash and just rent it out and then keep staying where I'm staying in New York?
I don't know why you won't just stay with somebody else. I don't even know why you do that. You're not even home. You don't even live home. Your home is on the road.
But you know, it feels good to have like a spot that you can go to if something happens, you know?
I know. That's why people do it, because of the emotion aspect of it. You want to get rich or you want to feel good?
You know why I'm here.
Okay, so I don't understand why you paying $1,600 in rent in the first place.
Okay, so get rid of my apartment. My lease ends in February. Okay, but I still
Can
got the
you?
200. So should I put
Is
20?
it a place where you could just stack your stuff at while you on the road? Because you on the road for three weeks out of the month.
I pay rent in New York as well.
Yeah, but you pay rent in New York because that's where you travel to, right?
Yeah.
That's a part of your business.
So yeah, I can write that off. Yeah.
So okay, let me ask you another question. Why you come home? Why you go back to Maryland if you spending 75% of your time already in New York and you paying rent there?
That's where I've been at for a couple of years. I feel comfortable there. I'm only in New York because of the money, but I would never live full time in New York. If the money stopped, then I would leave. But I
You're
started in
paying. Think
Maryland,
about
so
what
that's
you're
kind of
saying to
where I
me,
feel
fam.
comfortable at.
Think about what you're saying. You're paying rent in New York already,
Yeah,
and
it's,
then you
it's
go
furnished
to.
finder, so yeah.
You said what now?
It's furnished finder, so I pay by the month. So I didn't sign a year contract. Every month I just pay to
Yeah,
stay there.
but you leaving 25% of your occupancy on the table when you leave and go to Maryland and go and pay another 16% there.
Yeah.
You wasting money. You don't even need to put your stuff with your parents or nothing like that. I don't know why you won't just stay in New York. Just stay there. If that's where you working and that's where you making all of your money, put the 1,600 back in your budget.
Okay. So what should I do with the 200 then? Should I buy a house for 200 and then put renters in there, or should I
That's where
put
you
down
put your
20%?
investment in. And so that's listen. If you buy the house, you're not gonna live there. That's where you put your money and deploy your capital so that you can start really building wealth.
Okay. All right.
You put somebody in that property to then pay you, and then that's when you start having that snowball effect and you rolling it over in order to get to the next property and so on and so forth.
Okay. All right. Then.
Listen, your rate of return, let's say you deploy $200,000 into a property, right? At the rate that you're saying, if you're getting 4.7%, then let's say that's the equivalent of what? $9,400 a year, right?
Around that, yeah.
You getting way more than that when the person is paying the rent. Let's say you buy the property and they paying you $2,300 a month in rent, right? $2,300 a month in rent is almost $30,000 a year. Which return did you want? Which return is better to you? Because they keep telling me about these high yield savings accounts, but if somebody is paying me almost $30,000 a year in rent, just based off of a $2,300 payment, which one is a better return?
Yeah, I lost it. Dang, time.
Can you hear me? You got bad reception. Rewatch it, bro. Rewatch it. Say that $1,600. Say that $1,600. Put it back in your budget. Buy the property. Charge rent. Let them pay for it. Continue to gain the equity, and run it up, bro. You in a great space. You in a phenomenal space. You see, I think that's the thing that we do a lot of times, right? What we do a lot of times is we start getting money, and because we doing really well, we start having little holes inside of our budget that allow for us to then get comfortable. We get holes inside of our budget that allow for us to get comfortable. No holes in the budget. All money in. All money in, no money out. All money in, no money out. Let me see if I can get him back up here really quickly. All right, we back. Did you hear what I said? Darnell, you out here in these streets looking bad out here. Let me go to Marcus, and then I'm going to go to CIEGE, and then we're going to start wrapping up the show. Hold on one second. Marcus, what up, Marcus?
What's going on, Anton? How you doing?
What's the word? What's your question or what's your pushback?
So I have a question. Over the last couple years, I want to say, following college, graduated in 2017. I played sports, played football, and was, trying out pros and everything. Stopped, and in 2018, I wound up picking up being an audio engineer for like live shows and a lot of wedding bands. So I got in that. And on top of that, I started, working 9 to 5. So currently I'm working as a business and product analyst. And I also started a business with audio engineering. And, um, through the years of doing it, picked up the skills, picked up the understanding different things. And now I'm in a position where one of the guys that I work with, he's actually a singer that I work with, like family, like an uncle to me. And he, approached me like, hey, look, I got some money for you if you want to, when you want to invest in what I'm doing as far as me, getting equipment and different things like that. So I have that, but I'm trying to figure out the best way to structure or get the best advice on how to make a situation like that work. And what your advice would be on something
Who
like
got
that.
money for you to do what?
My uncle of mine, he's a close friend, good friend, but like an uncle. But he asked me, he wanted to invest in me, my audio engineering, what I'm doing, because I've
Wait,
been doing it for a lot of,
if you want him to invest in your business,
yeah,
for what? Why would he invest in
to
your
help me
business?
get, because he's seen me work with them and how I am and my understanding of what we do, and he's just like, hey, opposed to me going and getting loans, taking business loans out and doing different things like that. He's like,
Why
look,
you
if
got
you
to
need
take
it,
out a
if you
business
want it,
loan why would you have to take out a business loan? What do you need a loan for?
and that's what I'm saying. I don't want to wait for that. I'm still working and saving money and putting in the hours to
Okay.
get
So
the
let me
capital.
let me slow down for a minute because I feel like I got some ADHD right now. I'm a C student. You got to slow
I
it down
got you.
for me. Okay, so what's the question?
So the question is, if somebody that I know that I trust and wants to invest in my
Hey, hold on one second.
business,
Hold on one
what
second.
would be
Hey,
the best
somebody
way?
time out Yusuf. Go ahead. We're not doing it on Friday today. Go ahead.
But yeah, if a person wants to, first off, what would be, I guess, your guidelines to doing it, and if so, how should
Guidelines to
I
doing
structure
what?
doing something like that? To
To
somebody
getting somebody to
investing in
invest
me,
in your company? What is he trying to
yeah,
give you?
I guess whatever is like kind of seed money I would need to get the equipment that I need to get.
And then what do you got to give back?
And that's what I'm saying. I would have the next question. Me and him were supposed to sit down and talk and see what his side is. But I'm looking to get I guess some type of advice because I know you've had businesses, you still run businesses and things like
How
that.
much money do
So
you need? What are you asking for? Like, what would you be asking him for?
I would be probably about 4 or 5 thousand.
What are your expenses? What's your life setup like?
So currently, looking on budget, I have to look at it again. I normally do it every week, but I'm running on I'm actually just pulling up home, but as far as just like my budget, expenses and things like that, like what's your
Yeah, what is your life like? What's your budget? What you got going in? What you got coming out?
let me pull that up because I actually have it in the
You
app.
don't know right off the bat?
Off the bat, nah, not off the top of my head.
What's your uncle, a dope boy
I have my
or
budget.
something? He a D boy?
No, nah, not at all, not at all. He's worked all his life as a musician. He and his wife, they built up, and he actually owns properties
Okay,
and
I
real
got
estate
you.
in the
What's your
area. I'm in
budget?
Jersey, so yeah.
What you doing? What's your budget?
My budget just for the business or overall? Sorry about that.
What is your life like? What do you have coming in on a monthly basis? What do you have going out?
On a monthly basis, I'm around a little shy of $4,000 just for my business and product, my
No, no,
nine to
no, no, no,
five,
no, 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 no.
and then
Your life. How much is your rent? Do you got some hoes that you like to trick off on? Do you pay for put?
and I got my girlfriend.
What is your life setup like?
I have to. I pay rent. I don't own a mortgage or anything like that. I have those two streams from
How much do you make a month? How much
working
do you
in
make a month?
a month. I'm making. Sorry about that.
I'm about to get off the phone. I got to go to the
A
next
month I'm making
person. You
about.
acting like you don't know what the question is.
I'm making about $5,000 a month.
Okay, so is that gross or is it net? After taxes or before taxes?
Gross.
Okay.
Well,
what are you taking home?
Net. Excuse me, net.
So that's after
I'm making
taxes?
about $5,000 a month.
Okay. You
So
live with
after
your girl?
taxes, yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah.
How much she make?
She makes about, I want to say about 70 a year.
Okay. She sharing the rent?
Yes.
Or you out here simping? You paying for everything?
Nah. She handle. I handle. She gives a little to rent, like a small percentage, and she just handles groceries and her expenses, and I handle
What is she
everything
paying?
else as far as our parking here.
What's she paying?
She's paying for groceries, and
So where the rest of her money go? Because she
as far as
making decent money.
we both paying down debt, and we're both
She
taking
paying
care of
her
the stuff
own debt.
in
She paying
our
her
place.
own debt, right?
Yeah.
Y'all got a kid together?
No.
How long y'all been living together?
This December will make a year.
So what happens when she get done paying her all of her own debt? She gonna leave after she got some free housing from you?
Nah. Nah. We like I
How
said,
do you know?
we both split what we split.
Nuh-uh. You pay the majority of the rent. You pay all of the rent, and then she get a little bill here, probably the light bill or something, and then she get to do what she want to do with her money. And it ain't all going towards her debt
She's
either.
been. I have to say, because we do our budgets monthly, if not a couple times a month, and she's locked in on what she's on. That's one, because it took me a minute to even get in a relationship, because I've been so
You
focused
paying
on
the
doing what I'm
majority.
doing.
You
Not
paying the
say-
rent. Come on, man. Listen, you're not on camera. You could just keep it
Right.
real with me. You keep it real with me. You paying the rent,
Nah, I'm
right?
with you. I'm real with you.
You paying the rent, right?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Okay. You paying the rent, right?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes.
You paying the rent, right?
It's a lag on my end.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Now the lag is coming in. All right, let me see if I can. Y'all got to call back. Let me handle this really quickly. All right. Can you hear me, Marcus?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
All right, we good. So we clear now. You can hear me good, right?
I can hear you good.
All right. You paying the rent, right?
Right.
Okay. And so she really doing what she want to do with her money, right?
Nah, she's got expenses that go to our apartment and our storage unit.
Like what?
Like she handles the groceries, anything toiletries, the different things that we have in here. Like she handles all the groceries. I don't.
Okay,
She
groceries
puts in
and
on
what
that.
else? Groceries and what
I'm
else?
just handling rent, groceries, toiletries. She's paying for the storage unit because most of her stuff is in it to make space when she moved in with me, and like she's handling the rest of that. And the margins, because of where I live, because I haven't moved out of my place since 2020. It's not like she's only
You
paying
know
a
why
little
you
less than
can't
I am.
save
It's just the rent.
$5,000? You know why you can't save $5,000? Because you spending it on a woman that you ain't even married to. Sound like she make more money than you too.
Nah, at the end she doesn't make more.
Y'all making very similar money.
I make about 20. I make about $5,000 more than her a year.
Y'all making very similar money. Why you simping, bro?
You think I'm simping?
Mm-hmm. That's why you ain't got
That's honestly,
$5,000. Listen, you asking another man to invest $5,000 in your business. That's all you need to invest in your business. You need to invest that in your own business, bro. And the reason that you ain't got it is the core root of the problem. The core root of the problem is that you spending money trying to take care of a woman because she giving you all that good loving.
So despite, and I'm with you. So despite, because she moved into my apartment, I've been paying the rent, and it's only been a minor
Well,
increase.
of course she
paid that
moved into
little
your
increase, so-
apartment. It's free housing. Every woman want free housing. What woman don't want free housing? Free house, bro. For a lot of these people, it's a recession out here. She got to pay off them student loans. She got credit cards. She been partying with her homegirls over there in Vegas, and then she went down to Miami a few times before she met you. What did you think was gonna happen? Of course, what woman don't want free housing? Where you meet her at? Where you meet her at?
She's we went to the same high school.
And so how old are you now?
Reconnected, and then
reconnected.
I just turned 30.
So y'all reconnected 12 years later.
Roughly 2020. Yeah, it was about 9 years later. But she's been.
Oh snaps!
Yeah, she's
free room and board. All she got to do is buy groceries that she was already eating half of already anyway. You would have $5,000 if you was focused.
I'm focused though, time. But I'm saying so. She's saving me money on the grocery and the other expenses of living there. I'm paying the rent. Yo.
Oh, hey guys, over here we got one. We got a hot one. We got free housing, food, clothing, and shelter.
That's crazy, man.
I can't believe you getting finessed like this, big dog. That's why you ain't want to tell me.
Yo.
You know you wrong. You know you wrong.
Nah, look, I'll tell you.
You know you wrong. You wrong
Laying
as two left screws. Let me tell you something. You a grown man with no kids. And you single. Because you ain't married, so you single. Get your bag up, lower your expenses, stop simping out, start forcing people that's in your life to contribute into whatever it is that you got going on. If they don't want to get up on your vision, then you get up out of there. The fact of the matter is you should not be looking for another man to invest in your business, and you 30 years old and you only need $5,000. You can get up with that. You can come up with that. You a grown man. You can come up with $5,000. If you can't come up with if you making $5,000 a month and you can't come up with $5,000 within the next 3 months, that's a problem. And you giving free room and board. I got a girl that want to meet you. She gonna treat you better than the one you got. I got a girl that want to meet you. She gonna treat you better than the one you got.
So stay that, because my first mind, going back to the business thing, I hear you on the other side, but on that side,
you got to get your life circumstances together
like,
before you start talking about the business.
Gotcha.
No free room and board. We don't do that over here in 2023. No free room and board. We don't do that in 2023. Now, you in a bit of a dilemma because you already done sold the dream and you don't want her to get out because you like that good loving and you don't want to have that uncomfortable conversation. And she expecting you home at a certain time.
I always have it.
She expecting you home at a certain time.
We always have. We always have uncomfortable conversations. I'd rather get to it up front than tiptoe around it. I don't have a problem with that at all.
If y'all making the same amount of money, why is all your money going to pay the rent and you ain't even married either? Wow.
Right.
And you give him free room and board. At least I know who to call if I could get into a pickle.
I got you.
I know who to call.
So stay out, do it.
She need to be pulling her. She
not
need to
your
be pulling her
recommendation.
weight.
Your charge.
She need to be pulling her weight, bro. Ain't no free rides in 2023, especially for no chick that you ain't married to. And you shagging up. You know your mama told you not to shag up with no girl when you was growing up.
Gotcha.
All right. Get it together. 5,000 ain't much to come up with, big dog.
Appreciate you, man.
All right. No free rides. 0 free rides in 2023. And let me tell y'all something. Somebody in the chat said he needs financial advice. He doesn't need relationship advice. No. The most important financial decision that you ever gonna make in your life is the person that you lay next to every day. The most important financial decision that you ever gonna make in your life is the person that you lay next to every day. That's not no wife. That's free room and board. No shacking up, no free rides. Talking about she get to pay off her stuff and get it together. Why? So she can come over Anton Daniels' studio, don't do coke in the bathrooms, and have an interview right after? Make sure you sign that NDA agreement because we got to get it in. Let's see what we got going on. Y'all chicks is finessing out here in these streets. Y'all must have been listening to Yada Awakening. He told y'all how to get the bag. We're going to make it quick. Let's do these lightning rounds. Counselor Mr. G, what's going on?
What's going on, bro?
Hold on. Let me just tell y'all something. You know what you're going to have to be doing in order to get a free ride with Time Dog? Even today, if I'm single today and you trying to get a free ride, you know what that's going to cost you? Everything. You're going to have to take the whole... Let me be quiet. This is the Millionaire Morning Show. What's up, Counselor Mr. G?
You got to make it quick. Yeah, I'm not going to hold you. I got a few things. But first of all, when it comes to the HELOC thing, the guy that you featured in your story, I think he was handling the HELOCs correct. I'll just give you a quick story. One time I bought a HUD house, right? It was a complete burnout. And we did a complete gutting.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, it was a nice house. It was like a 4-bedroom, nice little enclave, south side of Chicago.
In the hood.
Long story short, but check it out though. See, that's what you got to understand.
It was in the hood, though, wasn't it? It was in the hood.
Technically, but it was a nice little area. But the thing about it was, but check it out though. But watch this though. I had the cash to buy it, and I know you probably don't like these. I don't either. This is the only time I did it. I used a hard money loan, right? I know they're terrible.
What was the interest rate on that thing?
Dude, I don't even remember it. I got rid of it so quick. I just used it. I forgot. But anyway, this is what I did though.
On that was 9,000%.
Some crazy like that, right? Yeah, it was big. But I did it because I knew I was just gonna get right out of it. So I got the HUD house. We bought it, complete gut out, everything, right? I took that, got a HELOC, paid it off, and then I was able to use that HELOC on this property, and I got like $150,000 on the with the HELOC. So I had this property sitting here, rented it out. Cash flow, everything, and even when I sold it as a profit. But in the meantime, it was like a piggy bank, and I was using it to finance other properties. So I say that to say I know you're against leverage and all that, but the way you use HELOCs,
I just think that I'm not against it. That's a myth. I'm against the misunderstanding of how to leverage money correctly and people not understanding the inherent risks that go along with it. You're talking about it from a success story perspective. You also, it's a lot of other people that was not successful and they held on to a property and they had to let that property go or something, and they could not get it off their hands, and that they didn't make no profit. A lot of people go under like that, and those are the part of the stories that people don't tell. They only tell a success story. So I think that's dope. I think it's congratulations for you for being able to rock out like that, but I think that you're not also sharing the inherent risks that come along with that type of play.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, I just got 3 quick points. Now, the first point.
I have one.
They're quick. They're quick, bro. First thing, I got to commend you because you have correctly identified Chicago as Gotham City. So, round of applause for that. You are correct. It is Gotham City. In fact, the word Gotham, the root
I got
word
my
is
Ray-Bans
Gothic.
on right now too, so I can record with my
I'm
Ray-Bans
seeing.
on. See
Those
that?
look nice on you, bro.
They got the cameras on the side of it. See the cameras?
Yeah. Those look good, man. I gotta get. You know what? I got some Ray-Bans, but I got to get some
I'm
more.
recording you. I'm recording you.
Fantastic. But yeah, those are good. I'm gonna give me some of those. But you correctly identified Chicago as Gotham. The word Gotham is the root word is Gothic, and Chicago actually has the most Gothic buildings in America. And in 1871, Chicago burned down. I know you would have loved it, but they rebuilt Chicago in the Gothic style. And all those buildings, that's why Chicago's voted like one of the most beautiful skylines. Unlike Detroit, you guys kind of have a little basic skyline. I know although you have that monstrosity of a GM headquarter building that looks like something that straight out of the RoboCop movie, but I digress. But you were correct. But here's my issue,
Where did you
bro.
say that you lived at again?
Well, I'm still rocking with the Chi. I'm an international man at the moment, but I still rock with the Chi.
I said where?
Oh, I live in I got a couple places, man. It depends on what.
Like one. Give me one of them.
To.
Give me one of them.
Well, I got places in the Chi, but I also got some.
No. Where do you live at? Where do you live at?
Well, currently I'm in Asia. But again, let me get to my point, bro. I know you got limited time. But like I told you, bro, even if I was in Detroit,
we gotta hurry up. You gotta run it through.
I'm trying to. Yeah, I'm running through it. Now, this is where I disagree with you real quick. Look, man, you tried to use Midlothian, which is a suburb of Chicago. One of your little janky stories that you pulled, you had some guy that broke into a liquor store, and that was from Midlothian. That was not Chicago. And you sitting up here with your little peanut head, always trying to put you taking all these suburbs and you're trying to say that that's Chicago, man. And I'm calling cap.
You know why I'm letting you get away with this, Mr. G?
Why is that?
Because I seen your channel.
Which channel? I got a couple.
And you like to use the content for your channel, so I'm letting you get your content on.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. You the man out here in these streets.
You didn't know that I was aware. You didn't know that I was watching, did you?
I've been tagging you. I want you to see it. What are you talking about?
Okay, go ahead.
I've been tagging you, bro.
Go ahead.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. But here's the thing, though, man. Why are you using Midlothian?
Hey, what kind of head do I got again? What kind of head again?
You got a little peanut head, but check it out. That's why you always wear that cap. You wear that cap so you can cap.
Oh, that's a good one. I'm gonna give you that one. That was a good one, Mr. G.
But listen,
I definitely got to be able to take it, right?
Yeah, but Midlothian is not part of Chicago, bro. It's not. But I tell you what, if you want to keep using these suburbs, then I will compare Midlothian to East Point, and we can go from there. And I guarantee
East Point is considered Metro Detroit. It is a city that is surrounded by shares in the municipalities as far as the water resources. Macomb, Oakland, and Wayne County all have a vested interest in seeing each other successful. And a lot of the people that participate, live, work, and play don't always live within the city limits. But at the same time, they are investors in the city. They may have a business in the city. They work in the city, so on and so forth. So it's called Metro Detroit. And so it's not just one singular place because one affects the other. And often at times people from Chicago often go outside of the city limits to commit the crimes, which is one of the reasons why it's still relevant to what it is that I present in the story.
Right. And again, I'll rock with you on that because let's say if we use these suburbs, if we look at the crime rate of Midlothian compared to East Point, there's no competition. So if you want to make that our draft pick, if you want to put Midlothian on our squad, I'll rock with you. We can rock out with that and we'll go apples to apples. And I guarantee you, Chicago's rates of crime are going to go down if you keep adding places like Midlothian.
So why you want
to do you a favor.
Why don't you just let me go ahead and keep rocking there?
You know what? You're right. I'm gonna let you keep doing it. But because you keep trying to throw in places like Dalton, so I ain't gonna take that. I don't want that draft
I ain't
pick.
said nothing about Dalton being Chicago.
You did. You tried to get that Banshee mayor. You tried to put her on the shot.
20 minutes outside of Chicago. That's the truth.
Yeah. Oh, you play chess now, dude? You don't want to play no chess.
I'm already
You don't
playing
want
chess
to play
with
no
you in
chess.
real life right now.
All right, we gonna have
You
to play
know
some
that a
chess one
bag
day.
chaser, a subscriber to the channel, actually made these pieces. Every piece has a specific bill in it, in a certain denomination, and it is beautiful.
Nice. Do they sell them online?
Absolutely beautiful. No, they made this specifically for me. It
Oh,
is beautiful.
that's love.
This is actual money inside of the pieces.
Nice.
This is dope. All right,
That
Mr.
is
G,
dope.
I appreciate you for
Yeah.
continuing to
Okay.
rock with me, bro.
Yeah. Well, I'm just gonna tell you this. All jokes aside, bro, I love what you do. I'm just gonna leave you with some advice. I love that interview you did with Will Motivation.
Yeah, that's
and
my guy.
yeah, one part that you said that kind of stuck out to me. You said you work 7 days a week, right?
That's correct.
Okay, I'm just gonna leave you with this, little bro. I think I'm a little older than you. I used to do that too. I used to work 7 days a week, but you got to give yourself at least a day off. And the reason why I'm saying that is because you'll be actually more productive in the long run. There's actually studies. Stanford University did a study that anything over 55 hours a week, you actually lose production. And I know you got that addictive personality. You want to rock out every day of the week, but you got to give yourself a rest. Be with your family. Do the things you love. Nobody works all their life, and on their deathbed, they wish they had worked more. They wish they had worked one more day. They wish they had more time with their family. I did that before too, when I was younger. But
Yeah, but I'm not
at one
gay,
point I took.
so I don't think like the rest of the people that had that sense.
Who's gay? What are you trying to say? I'm not gay.
I didn't call you
But
gay. I said I'm not gay. That's all I said. There's nothing wrong with listen, if you like.
No, but look at. I know you're a spiritual man, right? I know you're a spiritual man, right?
Listen,
the creator
I didn't
of the
call
universe.
you gay. Why did you feel offended by me saying I'm not gay?
Because I'm telling you something that I do in terms of taking at least one day off a week, and you say, "Well, I'm not gay." So I'm like, "Well, what does that got to do with anything? I'm not gay."
But why did you
what I'm
equate
saying.
that back to? Why did you think that I was referring to you? I'm just saying that I don't.
Well, maybe you were not. So my bad.
I don't
If you
care
weren't
about that. If I died today, I wouldn't be incredibly happy with the results that happened because I'm leaving it all on the floor, and I want to utilize every minute. And I live spiritually, and I don't go by the carnal words of man. See, men,
right?
The carnal words of the world is to think like that. God said, "Live every moment as if it's your last." So every every moment is meaningful to me, and I'm not gay.
Well, okay. Well, I'm gonna leave you with this. He also said, "Remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy." So even the creator of the universe took a day off.
What is the Sabbath day?
It's a 7 day.
What
you work 6 days.
Is the Sabbath day?
Any day where you work 6 days, you take a day off.
Which day is the Sabbath day?
After you work 6 days, that's the day off you take.
Which
it's
day
the seventh
is it?
day of the week.
Which day is it?
It's the 7th day after you work your 6 days.
Like what?
What's your Saturday? For example, if I start working on Sunday, then I'm going to take that the 7th day after that. I'm going to take that day off after I work my 6 days.
Just say that you don't know. You can use the chat is going to help you. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, but you just rest 1 day a week. That's all I'm telling you. But you can take it how you want. I'm just giving you big brother. I'm just giving you big brother advice.
You can't quote the scriptures without being able to back it up. You can't do that.
No, it just tells you the Sabbath. It tells you the six days. The days were not named. They gave you 6 days to work, and on the 7th day you rest. That's
what's the first day of the week.
The first day of the week is not named in the scriptures. It just tells you the first
day of the week.
The first day of the week, according to man, is Monday.
It's not. It's
that's
Sunday.
I know it's supposed
man,
to be
it's Sunday. Even according to man, it's Sunday.
All right. So if you work in 6 after that, then you're going to take your 6 day or your 7 day off after that. After you work your 6 days, regardless as to when you start your work week, you take that 7th day off. Most people believe that it's Saturday is the Sabbath day, but
I'm not most people. I'm not gay.
Yeah. But I'm just leaving you with that, bro. I'm just letting you know in the long run, you're going to be more productive if you give yourself at least a day off just to be with your family, relax, rest that little peanut head, and then you're going to be good. That's just my big brother advice to you. You can take it how you want, bro. But
thank you, Mr. G. I appreciate you for tuning in.
All right, bro.
All right, bye. Y'all got to start looking at y'all calendars. It says Sunday in the first day, and then Saturday is the last day on the calendar. I don't know what y'all be reading. Let me see if I can get my dog Cejas in here to give me some game. This is the last person I'm taking. Last person I'm taking. Let me get my dog Cejas in here. Cejas. What up, Cejas?
What up? What up, pimp? What up, pimp? Save the
Chilling,
best
chilling,
for
my
last, huh?
friend. What's the word? How you feel?
I'm Gucci, man. I ain't really want nothing. I was just calling in to see what you got going on, how everything was going with the family.
I'm chilling, man. I'm trying to figure it out. Trying to, I ain't got to do Fight Club tonight, so I got a little bit of extra time to chill out and hang out and enjoy my life.
I wish I could do that. One of these
Cejas,
days.
are you working? Oh yeah, I forgot you're not a believer, Cejas.
I'm working. I'm here. I'm at work now.
You look like Jesus right now. You dress like him.
What, dress as you want to appear, people to see.
Y'all want to see what Cejas look like? Let me show y'all Cejas. Look at this. Look at Cejas out here getting to the bag. I see you, C.
Making it happen. You want me to show you what I'm working on?
Yeah, show me what you're working on, C.
We got a vintage chair I'm working on right now.
Oh yeah, let me see it.
We can see that. Can y'all see that?
Who beat that chair up?
I just put this on now.
Oh, that's what happened to the side of it, Cejas?
I ripped it down. I'm reupholstering it.
Is that your business or is that what you just do for a living in a general sense?
Both. I do piecework and I do it full time.
Shout out your business, Cejas, so the people can find you and hopefully they can find something that they like and hopefully they can support your business, bro.
It's Green Lawn Upholstery.
Green Lawn. So green is that one word?
Green like grain line.
Grain Lawn. You spell it for us.
Grain Line. GRAINLINE.
Oh, Grain Line. Grain Line Upholstery. Yeah. How can they get in touch with you?
Well, you can go to my tattoo page. That's it, Inc. Or you can go to my primary page. Shut up when you're talking to me.
That's your primary page.
Yeah, my primary page is shut up when you're talking to me. I'm mad you ain't following me, but I ain't gonna hold it against you.
All right. Well, listen, C, I appreciate you for coming through, big dog. Thank you, my friend.
Oh, you know that. You know I got you, bro. Hey, one more thing before I know you're about to get off. I really got to talk to you about this YouTube channel I'm trying to start, man. It's like imperative. It's more. I have to actually talk to you about it because it's not something I could type. It's like because the way I can explain it is better if I verbally tell you about it.
Okay, that's cool. All right, well, just send me an email and then I'm gonna hit you up. Send me your information on email. I'm gonna hit you up.
It's AntonDaniels@gmail.com, right?
Nope, AntonDaniels413@gmail.com.
413. All right, that's why. I was like, I wonder why it's going to go 413. All right.
Yep. All right, C.
All right, brother. You be safe, Mom.
I love you, bro.
All right, brother. Be safe.
Loving when I kick it with my people. Let me read some of the super chats and then I'm gonna get y'all out of here for the weekend. Dang, y'all ain't gonna see me until Monday. No possibility of me showing up on a Fight Club or nothing till Monday. What y'all gonna do until then? Don't worry about it. My Patreon members, my bag chasers, they got a new video that's dropping this afternoon. So shout out to the Patreon members. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Voice is stronger than the pen says, if you sign C2C contract with your LLC, how do you lower the taxes? Y'all be wanting whole coaching calls in y'all super chats. If you sign a C2C contract with your LLC, how do you lower the taxes you will receive from both your personal and your LLC? Listen, bro, just because y'all start an LLC does not mean that it changes the dynamics of how it is that you operate from a tax perspective. Remember this. Just remember this. A sole proprietorship from a tax perspective is very similar to an LLC in that they both have to be accounted for on your taxes. When you do your taxes at the end of the year, it's going to ask you some questions, and then that's filed on a Schedule C. As long as you account from it from a business perspective, it's not that you're trying to lower your taxes. The only way that you can truly lower your taxes is the expenses that it takes in order for you to continue to promote or run your business. Again, the only way for you to lower your taxes is the expenses that come along with you promoting, so marketing, and running or expanding your business, okay? That's it. So you find a way to justify whatever it is that you invest in your business from a tax perspective, and then that's how you then expense it. That's how you account for it For example, if I have to fly people in order for me to be able to create content, that's an expense. If I have to put them in a hotel, that's an expense. If I have to fly somewhere in order to shoot specific content from a media perspective, that's an expense. Anything it takes for you to run your business. If you are a contractor and they paying you with a 1099, you still a business, right? So they're paying your LLC with a 1099. Every expense that's tied to that business. If you got to get a new desk, if you got to get a computer, if you got to do a certain soundboard or whatever like that, that is an expense. So you still have to pay taxes. What lowers how much you pay in taxes is how much you reinvest in order to be able to run that business effectively. Okay? From a tax perspective, it very much works the same way. Peace King, and so take with that what you will. Make sure you tap into your local tax professional. They can help you out. Peace King Workout is in the building. I appreciate you. Let me see what else. I got 7 more. All right, let me acknowledge the people. Antonio Watkins in the building says, that's Darnell. I met at the DC meetup. Good guy. We both from Jacksonville, Florida. Keep doing your thing. Shout out to you, Anton. I'm dreaming. Catch you on the next coaching call. Shout out to my people. At least they asking for the help. You know what I'm saying? Bernie's Roadbook Tours in the building says, Anton, can you address this new shaming tactic women have begun discussing about men going 50-50? Oh, we don't care. Man, listen. Do you know how many women got mad because you didn't do what they wanted you to do, or I didn't do what they wanted me to do? I'm still not going to do it. Yo, if you let a little hood rat shame you into doing something that you don't want to do, then the joke is on you. You are the mark. If a woman gets mad at me because I didn't do something that I didn't want to do, then I know that I'm winning. I know I'm successful. I know that I'm successful. I'm never going to do anything that I don't want to do, and it doesn't matter how much you get mad at me as a result of it and call me out of my name. People call you things your whole life. That don't mean that I'm going to start paying for you. I ain't going to pay for your lifestyle just because you want to get mad at me. Listen, if you're going to get mad, the only time that I've ever seen a woman, I ain't even going to say get mad, get surprised, is when I didn't warn her when it came. Let me be quiet. This is the Millionaire Morning Show. This is not. Oh, she didn't even get mad. She was just surprised. You know what I'm saying? We don't care about your shaming tactics. We don't care about your shaming tactics, man. Listen. Here's the thing that y'all need to understand. Most guys want to get married. That's the truth. That's the thing that women don't understand. Most guys want to get married. Meaning that if you find a woman that then is operating in that space or they decide to shame you, all you did is filter through the ones that you wasn't supposed to be with in the first place. All you did was filter through the ones that you wasn't supposed to be with in the first place. We don't need them all. We just need the ones that's willing to rock with us. That's the key. And so if you say something, it's just like a filter, right? When you say something and you stand on business as a man, it's like a filter. When you go on Zillow, when you go on Redfin, when you go on Trulia, when you go on any of these sites, right? And you look up a property, I don't need to see every property. I don't want every property to want to see me. I have a limited amount of time and I need to allocate my time towards the things that's meaningful to me. So I'm going to filter it out. Okay, this is my budget. This is how I'm operating. This is the area that I want to stay in. This is the criteria, how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms. This is the year that I want it to be built. It's okay for you to have preferences. It's okay for you to have preferences. And because they don't actually align with their preferences, they filtering out listen, you the winner. It's way more of them that's trying to figure out where to find a man than you trying to figure out where it is that a woman is going to fit into your purpose. The problem with most men, and this ain't even a Wednesday night, and y'all got me cooking. The problem with most men is that for some reason they think not having access to all of them somehow prevents them from being able to be successful. No, what's happening for most men in your life is that because you have too many people that's in your ear, you're not able to decipher which ones actually make sense to be in your presence in the first place. And so what's happening is the reason you haven't found your wife yet is because you have too many women that you're looking at all at the same time that's not for you. You spending money dating over here. You spending money paying her bills over here. She got you as a placeholder looking for something to eat or somewhere to stay, and she getting free housing out of you. And this one is keep telling you what it is that she demanding, all of that. Your wife is over there in the middle, but you ain't got your filters on. And so you so worried about whether or not you're going to get shamed as a result of it, when in reality, you just wanted all of these hoes to get outside of your purview so that you can look at the person that you're supposed to be with. That's the key. We think that just because it's a bunch of women that disagree with us, man, I don't care nothing about what she think. I care more about what my purpose is, and I'm observing for, and I'm looking out for the one that's going to get up under my covering. I don't care about all of y'all. I only care about the one. So when they shame you or they get mad as a result of it, rejoice and be glad and suffer for righteousness' sake and stay in your purpose and stand on your business, and then get your crown and your jewels at the end of the road. Play the game in reverse. I'm not looking to please everybody. I'm looking to filter out the people that's supposed to be in my purview. Give a piss about what they say. You know what I'm saying? Peace King Workout says, King, were you able to look at the Corporate Transparency Act and also highlight the Stephen Hightower Petroleum here in Cincy? Now, I'm still digging into it. So let me do a little bit of research. We're going to dig into it by the next show. I appreciate you, Peace King. I am going to attack that. 187 says, #lunch. Shout out to you. AJY says, Anton has the patience of God with these callers. Messi is in the building, says, I'm not gay. While casually moving chess pieces. Anton is, you caught that? Anton is a menace. I need to get to this level of unbothered because I sit on ready at all times. No, we're not tripping off of that. Messi. We just going to let them do what they do, and we just going to take it into consideration, and we going to make an informed decision. Sharon says, Big Brother check JT Pocket Watch tonight. He bringing Dalton Mayer to the front of the congregation, and you never answer my email. How y'all know I'm not looking at the email? I check every single email that you guys put me in. Sometimes I slot them here and sometimes I slot them there because I have to prioritize what I got to take care of. I'm on it. Great Way says, just wanted to leave an offering, and I'm not gay. Cubert Rames says, thank you for the game, big dog. I need a coach call if possible. Much love. Enjoy you and your weekend. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. If you need to get in contact with me about anything, make sure that you send me an email, AntonDaniels413@gmail.com. I do business through my email, through no other factor or no other method of business. And then also, make sure you tap into the Patreon. The best day to tap into the Patreon is the first day of the month. Today is the first day of the month. I'm dropping a video this afternoon. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank you, Cubert Rame and the 20 ball and everybody that stuck around long enough to get the game, man. It's Friday, no fumble on a Friday, and I need y'all to do me one more favor before we get up out of here. Make sure you share this with your family and friends. Oh, yes, I do, Messi. Yes, I do. Fact, I see everything that comes through my email. I see everything that comes through my email. I do. But I need y'all to make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Share this with your family and friends. Don't fumble on a Friday. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.